Welcome to Midwest Finishers 21, here live on YouTube. We are at 10th Planet Lombard, our host. I am Jeff Serf. I'm joined by John Puntarelli on the mic. We're going to be our commentators for today. We're about to watch some submission-only Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We have a 170-pound men's bracket, a bunch of super fights. The men's bracket is going to be fought for $2,500. Some of the top talent in the world coming out here to compete. We're going to start our show off with some super fights. It's going to be quite a show. If you guys have not joined us before, we do EBI rules, so we're going to have 10-minute regulation matches with possible 3 overtimes for all our matches, both super fights and bracket. I'm going to be starting off with a couple super fights. First up is Sean Thompson versus Mike Thompson, two newcomers to the Midwest Finishers bracket.
Should be a very exciting first match to start off the bracket too. I'm very looking forward to this one.
Midwest Finisher is known for having a really high submission rate, so do not be surprised to see a ton of submissions, especially in these early rounds. There's always guys coming to put on a show. That $2,500 is key, and having to fight 4 times a day, the competitors are trying to get out of here with as little mat time as possible. We have a 2-time defending Midwest Finishers champ, probably the favorite in the favorite bracket. We have some other real high-level talent: Wellington Andrade, Harrison Woods, Gavin Corby, some of the top guys from some of the best teams in the world on our mats. We're just about to get staged for our first super fight here.
Welcome to Midwest Finishers 21. First match is a super fight between Sean Thompson and Mike Thompson.
We have a Thompson and Thompson first fight.
Thompson v. Thompson, there can be only one. Let's go.
Sean Thompson out of 10th Planet Livonia, Mike Thompson out of Black Tie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Classic Big Cell making a scene in the
Ryan
background.
Salisbury. You'll be hearing him a lot on this broadcast in the background. Be prepared.
He doesn't have his megaphone this time like he did at Double Gold. However, he's got the voice that'll carry the room.
So Sean Thompson pulls guard right away. Mike Thompson enters the guard. Looks like a long, flexible, open guard for Sean. Half guard to start.
Looks like Mike's trying to set up a nice weave, get some good pressure started here. Very aggressive on top so far.
Can you talk
Yeah.
And then
It's a nice triangle set up.
Like a little bit of a distance away.
Got it.
Nicely
Perfect.
defended by Mike.
Back to the closed guard now. Climbing some high rubber guard action. We're going to see a dead orchard coming. Both arms inside. Mike's trying to create some backwards energy to get through, but with both elbows cut in, this may be a dead orchard. Sean is climbing the legs, trying to lock that triangle with both arms in. It's getting close. It's on his foot, not the ankle just yet. So he has to readjust just a little bit, or he's not going to be able to keep that position. Mike's doing a good job trying to get posture and defend. Now he's trying to drive the knee in to try to take Sean's angle away, and he's able to survive that dead orchard
Very
attempt.
nice defense.
And this is not in our tournament, so these guys, this is their only fight of the day, so expect them to really leave nothing on the table. They're both going to go hard for that finisher. Could be a little mirror lock action here from Sean. Really trying to control that posture.
Nice potential hip bump sweep.
Nice triangle attempt. Mike's showing really good control from the top, keeping himself safe from some of these dangerous positions, putting some weight on Sean.
And as everybody's experienced at some form or another in jiu-jitsu or in their jiu-jitsu career, Mike seems to be struggling with this knee shield on top. Sean's doing a really good job using that Z-guard to create some space.
Yeah, that length Sean has is sometimes going to give you problems not being able to connect to the upper body. And when you do, you're going to look for things like Troy bars and those triangles coming up. Mike may be looking to tie up Sean's head and get a little bit more control. He's got that nice overwrap. Maybe want to try to jump through and keep his control, but again, Sean's length is just too much. He's able to get into a body triangle close guard, but he's going for a guillotine inside the closed guard. That is one you're not going to see very often.
Not very often at all.
It looks like Sean does not like it. He might be able to get some finishing pressure there. His elbow is high. Oh, and he
Nice escape by
barely
Sean.
got out of that one. That was a very interesting sub attempt from Mike.
Very uncomfortable looking.
Yeah.
Nice rubber guard entry again here from Sean.
So we've already seen a closed guard, high elbow guillotine, and a dead orchard attempt from both competitors. Again, dead orchard coming again.
He looks like he's a little bit deeper on the shoulder this time with his rubber guard.
Yeah, he's got a better angle for this. Mike's doing a good job wedging the knee in to try to not allow that angle to come in. Again, his posture is definitely more under duress this time than in the first option.
Sure. Really, really good control of the shoulders by Sean here.
From our angle, it's hard to see if the arms are getting extended, but the way Mike's dragging his head in, it looks like he is in danger. Starting to get the arms separated. I want Sean to get a little higher on his shin. He's still a little bit too much on his foot for that triangle. It's giving Mike a better chance to try to get good posture, and that from there he had to switch because he lost that control of the triangle.
Back to our familiar half guard knee shield position.
Now Sean might be looking to go for underneath for the legs a little bit. So we have not seen either guy try to go for the legs either from the top or bottom.
As we say that,
Mike starts looking for a heel hook from the top.
It's like Jeff has a third eye for these things.
I think they just might hear us from here. So they might be getting some good ideas. Choi bar action from Sean. Doesn't have the best angle for it. Mike trying to get back on that head. After that earlier attempt, you can tell like some head and arm stuff is definitely in his arsenal.
Sure.
Best passing attempt that Sean uses to attempt to get back up.
So interesting jumping guard pull.
Halfway, guys. 5 minutes left.
Halfway through this round, both guys pushing a good hard pace. Neither guy has really rested at all for the first 5. Both are showing good offense, good defense.
Ooh, nice arm drag attempt.
Really nice angle. Mike just doing a good job keeping those elbows in and not allowing him to get that back angle. And it gives Mike the best chance, and he gets on the head again.
Sure.
This was his best offense earlier in the round. Still caught in that knee shield. I think with his right hand, he should be pushing Sean's knee out. Just as I say, that'll be a good angle to try to clear that knee to get a little hip-to-hip connection and really duress the neck some more. Now he's looking at the heel again. Sean's able to get right back to that closed guard. Start hearing some really heavy breathing from the mat. For a lot of younger competitors, they may have never done a 10-minute match before, and the difference between a 10 and a 5 or a 10 and a 6 is drastic. Those extra 3-4 minutes can be really, really tough, especially in a high pace like this.
You start to feel that first adrenaline dump sometimes by that 4th or 5th minute, so you got 5 more minutes while you're.
Not to mention, if we do go into overtime here, then we're going to see who's got the best cardio.
Sure, sure. Sean doing a really good job at keeping his frames on the inside, making it really difficult for Mike to pass his guard here.
Mike's on the head again. This is where he's had his best success and definitely put the most pressure on to Sean. Now he's able to clear the knee shield. This is now the kind of head and arm kind of game he's looking for. Without the knee shield, is going to be a little bit more successful. He may be wanting you to use it to pass as opposed to actually finish the submission. I think Mike needs to decide if he wants to try to finish the choke or look to pass.
Agreed.
Sean's doing a good job not letting that secondary hand get an underhook or the head control. We're trying to be using some the foot to pommel to try to get that half guard cleared, but that length may be giving him the most trouble with that.
Sure.
Hands are connected now.
Let's see if he uses this to try to pass the guard or if he's able to get some.
Sean does a good job disconnecting the hands, staying safe.
There we go. He uses it to get that knee clear, comes into a nice mount position.
Might get to the mount. Can he stabilize? Sean gets the foot back. He's holding under that quarter guard. Sometimes that's a good to prevent the actual mount, but can lead you to getting your back taken.
Sure.
Especially in a tournament with no points where you're not trying to avoid the points of the pass. It can kind of lock you down a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if Mike can use this for that back exposure.
Good knee cut opportunity here. And right
Sean
back to that
able to
Z-guard.
get that knee back in for that knee shield.
Really relentless top pressure by Mike here.
Yeah. He's caught in a little bit of a lockdown, looks like.
Potential bottom side wrist right here. It's a little shallow.
Sean's coaches want him to extend that lockdown, try to get the hips moving to try to create that off balance. But he may just have too much pressure on him. As we get to about 1 minute left in the fight, we could be going to overtime. For our newer competitors too, like an EBI rule set, it'll be interesting to see who's more prepared for the EBI. Sean coming from a 10th Planet background, you know they've drilled those positions. So it'll be very interesting to see who to favor in this overtime.
Now Mike looks to have a nice Kimura.
And there's still time for a finish. Passes with a Kimura lock. Let's see if he can get the finish as we're getting low in time in our regulation. It's always an interesting choice. Does he want to try to use a lot of energy getting the finish when they only has a few seconds to recover, or is she just...
If Mike can get if he can start to step over the head, this Kimura could really be potentially threatening here.
Yeah. Sean's length might help. That arm's extended away. It's hard for Mike to get his hips connected into the hips and finish. I think that's what happened there.
Sean seems to be very comfortable with his defense.
And there we go. We're going to go into our first EBI of the day, our first match. So again, we can have up to 3 overtime rounds. For those who are not familiar with EBI, the competitors are going to get to choose either the back control position or the spiderweb armbar position. If either one gets a submission in the first round, the other one will have a chance to match the time. If there's no submissions, we start going to fastest escape time, and there's possible up to 3 overtimes. So Sean's going to pick first, and he's going to start on Mike's back. So the longest possible ride is 2 minutes in this round. It's submission or escape or a 2-minute ride time.
And here we go.
Sean does not get the body triangle. And Mike gets an easy escape.
Right
That's
off the bat. Very quick
3-4
escape.
seconds. Again, that's really, really good for Mike in terms of getting to a later rounds and or just not using a lot of energy into the defensive movements. He will also choose the back. Ref getting him set. Mike as well not able to get a body triangle. As you get into the higher level EBI, you'll almost always see an instant body triangle from the back competitors. And again, at the newer guys to the sport, it's a little harder. They don't have that time in yet.
Sean really forcing that choking side, trying to get his back to the mat. There he is.
He still has to get his elbow free. He's caught in an arm triangle. An arm triangle counts because his elbow has still not been across the center line, so this is not an escape, even though he's technically no longer on the back. He wants to bridge in and pull his elbow back. Mike's going to try to keep that head and arm to get more ride time and threaten the submission. Either way, whether he gets the submission or not, he has a huge ride time advantage after this first round. And he gets the escape once that elbow frees. So after 1 overtime round, Mike definitely has the advantage. But again, we have 2 more goes, and all that matters is a submission. If the submission doesn't come, that's when the ride time comes into play. We'll see if the back strategy changes this round for Sean. And again, no body triangle, especially from the longer fighter. That is surprising to me. Halfback is a good control. Maybe he's trying to set up a twister. Hoping that Mike is not familiar, and now he's finding that angle for the twister. There it is. But Mike may be too strong, and he gets his body free.
Sean had some better success with the control in the back that time, but it definitely looks like Mike's still going to have the advantage with the right
he
time.
definitely has the right time over both rounds, even before we start.
Sure.
he's going right to the arm triangle. Almost like he just gave up on the back. Maybe he's felt something in that first round that he feels he can get the finish. But Sean looks like he can get that elbow through if he has a good bridge. Mike just seems to be getting good control from here. He's not really getting much choking pressure. And there's an escape. So we're heading into our last overtime round. Mike is well ahead. At this point, Sean's going to need a submission or he's going to lose by ride time. So he just kind of needs to throw it up here. We'll see if we actually see a body triangle. I think that is going to be his best path to victory. He's kind of going for one, but his hip alignment just seems very strange. Mike looks like he's going to be able to pull his head out and come up on top, and he does. He's going to definitely be ahead by ride time. I don't think we need the third overtime round. This is just a formality to give Mike a chance to get the submission, but he clearly has won the ride time already.
Both competitors opting to choose the back in the last round. I was expecting Sean to potentially take the
immediately going to the
spider
mount
web.
the same way.
He's got much better control of the elbow this time with the head and arm.
Just very, very interesting choices from the back from both guys. Mike playing it almost as a head and arm position, and Sean not using the length for the body triangle. But again, Mike's got that one in ride time. He's going to get the decision. Fun match to get us started in this first matchup of the day.
Very good stuff.
Mike Thompson from Black Tie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is going to get a ride time win.
Sean's showing a very, very educated and impressive guard for a young man, and Mike Thompson showing some really impressive pressure. Congratulations to Mike for the win. Good fight for both competitors.
Next up, we're going to have Nick Bordas from Pika-Pau Jiu-Jitsu against Lucas Barnes from Oshawa BJJ. Again, this will be our last super fight before we jump into our 170-pound bracket. Nick has been here on Midwest Finishers before, local with Pika-Pau, Aaron Brooks' gym. I believe Lucas took this one on short notice as one of Nick's original opponents. I think he had to move into the bracket or pull out. So here we go.
Our next match is a super fight between Nick Bordas and Lucas.
All right, and here we go.
So Nick's got the longer hair and the ponytail. Lucas with the shorter hair. Both wearing black shorts and rash guards. Lucas sits immediately. Classic seated versus standing position. Lucas trying to get attached and pull Nick in. Nick trying to keep him flat on his back. Try to clear the feet and get to good passing positions. We're seeing some K-guard right away from Lucas. He's got that calf slice set up. We just saw this at the UFC Fight Pass Invitational earlier this week. Still has a good angle to put pressure into Nick's knee. Nick doing a good job pushing him away to try to clear that knee line back. He's able to clear it, but he's now under duress into that nice cross-ashi, into the heel hook.
Right into the backside 50-50. They roll through.
Good job, Nick, keeping his heel clear, clearing the knee, staying safe. But it looks like he's still under duress. He's got a hand fight through.
Lucas really creating a consistent chain of attack here.
He definitely looks very comfortable in his legs, transitioning from that calf slicer into some nice heel hook options. But Nick did not panic, stayed calm, stayed with the position, responded well. But he's still in a tough position defensively. The heel's getting exposed again. This is the best fight he's had. And he gets the submission. So a quick submission for Lucas Barnes, showing some really nice transitions into his attack. looks like Nick is okay. Maybe a slight limp, but no injuries, which is always what we want to see.
Very nice performance by Lucas.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive chain of attack there.
Yep. And with that, we are going to be entering our 170-pound bracket, kind of the main event of what we're doing today.
Getting to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, in our first match, we have our two-time Midwest Finishers champion, Kevin Beering, coming out of 10th Planet Atlanta. He's won this bracket at both 170 and 185 pounds. And he's going up against Anthony Silva from Unity and Bones BJJ. So two world-class gyms represented at Planet Atlanta under Sean Applegate, and Bones and Unity, again, in the New York, New Jersey area under Devontae Johnson and Aurelio Santana.
Our next match is the first match of our men's 170-pound bracket between Anthony Silva and Kevin Beering.
So Kevin is on paper the favorite here. He's a world-class grappler. I expect to see him on the biggest stages of the sport in the coming years, coming from a really world-class gym. But again, anyone coming from Unity and Bones is going to be well prepared. Anthony pulls, gets underneath.
Looking for some shin-to-shin entries. Kevin seems to be really slick to that.
Kevin just looks very relaxed, very comfortable on the stage. We've seen a lot of submissions from Kevin's guard, but he looks very comfortable in his passing here. Anthony looking to get underneath.
Playing between that shin-to-shin and reverse De La Hiva.
Right away, Kevin sits
A
back
nice
right
entry.
into the hook. And now into the other leg. Again, finds the heel. And he gets the submission.
Beautiful outside heel hook by Kevin.
Kevin Beering, again, he's the favorite in the bracket for a reason, with a quick submission in his first match.
Very impressive outside heel hook by Kevin Beering. Beautiful jiu-jitsu.
We're going to see Kevin back in our second round soon. Moving on, we're going to have Wellington Andrade from Gracie Barra Lake Orion and Harrison Woods from On Guard BJJ. These are two top up-and-coming grapplers, both from outside the area. Again, both have competed at big stages, world level in IBGF. Harrison's competed in Polaris, so you got some really, really high-level guys coming and matching up here. Again, this whole bracket is going to be full of some up-and-comers you'll be seeing on big stages in the coming years, and they're kind of getting their feet wet on the big show here.
Our next match, Wellington Andrade versus Harrison Woods.
So Wellington in the black and white, Harrison in the black and blue. Wellington in a single quick. Kind of just feeling each other out. Mercy grips.
Looks like we're going to get a little bit more stand-up in this match so far.
The winner of this fight will take on Kevin Beering in our second round. Wellington sits off a little shot attempt, goes right into his closed guard. Controlling the postures, Harrison trying to stand up and open that guard. Nice posture from Harrison.
Harrison trying to break the guard. Either getting his posture, trying to reach back.
Wellington looking for a little K-guard action, it looks like. Harrison did a good job not allowing that hip to come through. Now gets the knee in the middle into a nice passing position.
Going to enter this common split squat position.
Wellington trying to invert through, attack that arm. Double underhooks position. Great passing position against a good open guard.
Very nice double under. Transitioning to a double, little scramble going on here.
Yeah. Good energy. Wellington able to use it to come on top.
Good fight.
Switching that top and bottom position. And that's something you'll sometimes see in the sub-only kind of matches. Harrison decided it wasn't worth the effort, just went back to his guard.
Little nice triangle on the plata attempt there.
Yeah. So both seeing them play in the closed guard, which is sometimes interesting to see. Sometimes at these tournaments you won't see any closed guard the whole fight. Now we're seeing both guys playing closed. I honestly think you're going to see a lot more closed guard and then kind of high-level no-gi in the next few years. I think it's something the guys are really how annoying it is to deal with, how dangerous it can be to set up your upper body attacks and then chaining them with leg locks as your opponent is forced to stand in to get that guard open. Harrison with the body triangle, which makes it very, very tough for Wellington to try to create angles. He goes right into an omoplata into the legs. That's the kind of chaining lower and upper body attacks we were talking about. Wellington does a good job to pull his knee line free, and he gets in on his own leg. Now closes the guard up himself, so again, back and forth with this closed guard. And again, Wellington's doing the same thing, using his closed guard to try to set up lower body control as Harrison's trying to posture up and open.
He's opting to reach back inside the guard again to break the guard. He's able to get that knee inside. But right off the bat, we're seeing that transition to the K-guard again.
This has been a really fun match. Both guys really showing some smart offense and defense, really trying to attack. Neither guy getting too ahead in any of the exchanges yet.
Very nice knee cut opportunity here.
Harrison now looking for some head and arm to expose the back. He's able to get one hook in.
Harrison with a really, really nice back take attempt here. Looks like he's gotten that chest to back
Now
exposure.
he has a face crank going. Did not try to face crank, didn't really like the angle he had. Now with that belly down position, he's going to be able to put some real pressure on Wellington from this back position.
Nice deep body triangle with the lock on top. He's going to have really, really good control from this position.
And we're still early in this match, not even into the halfway point, so this is a good position to kind of cook an opponent, make him use a lot of energy trying to escape as you kind of control him with that body triangle. Wellington doing a good job keeping his upper body control, now letting Harrison get to those angles to get the choke set. Harrison now looks to have good pressure with his face crank. And he gets a submission.
Very good position.
Harrison
Congratulations to Harrison. Very, very good.
With the submission from the back.
Beautiful back take.
And again, after our first overtime round, we've been getting submission after submission flowing in this. And now we're going to move on to our next matchup. Jake Strauss from Wagner BJJ against Kyle Kemp from 10th Planet Livonia.
That was a very exciting match.
Jake is known as the Darce Daddy on Instagram, so I think we have an idea what he may be known for. Coming down from Florida.
Seems like the more the years go on with the Midwest finishes, the competitors are traveling further and further to be able to come out to this competition. It's very beautiful to see.
Kyle is in the black and purple rash guard. Jake is in the black short sleeve rash guard with the VRMA for the Wagner Rocha Martial Arts. Both of these guys are new to the 10th or to the Midwest finisher stage.
Seeing both competitors agree to a little bit of stand-up.
Jake gets that submission. Kyle pulls, and now he's attacking from the guard.
Nice way to close right to that rubber. Let's see if Kyle's able to use this to create some potential offense here.
Jake is one of the kind of dark horses who, if you're newer to Midwest finishers, but he has some wins over some top talent. He has a win over John Combs in his competitive career. He's also a survivor of stroke. So it's amazing to see him back on the mat competing at this high level. It's one of the cool things you'll see with Jiu-Jitsu, with how many amazing stories you hear from competitors. And you know anyone who's gone through that is going to be incredibly mentally and physically tough. Nothing on the mat's going to get deter him too much. Kyle's showing some really nice rubber guard. His teammate, Sean Thompson, who we saw similar attacks from earlier in his Superfight at the beginning of the day.
Jake doing a really good job with his head pressure, making it difficult for Kyle to really get that shoulder control with the rubber guard here.
When you deal with someone with like a good rubber guard like this, especially with the length that Kyle has, this is a very just kind of a dangerous position to be in.
Sure.
Even though Jake's doing a really good job defending, creating that angle and preventing Kyle from climbing, this is all it takes is one readjustment and you're caught in that orchard or a triangle or gogoplata. But again, very high level competitor from Jake, so it's nothing he has not seen.
So in a traditional rubber guard scenario, would you find yourself trying to pressure into him a little bit more, or would you trying to get your posture a little bit more?
I think it depends how deep you are into it.
Sure.
I obviously want my posture and don't want him to break me down to it in the first place. But a lot of times once I'm in it, I want to keep good heavy pressure, keep him flat, not let him get those angles. But Kyle looks to be the kind of rubber guard player that his legs are so long and he's flexible that even when you do that, he can start climbing those legs in front of the head.
Super high, yeah. Just very casually there, he's able to get his feet very high up on the back. His knees are super high.
But you can see how much pressure Jake is putting with his head into Kyle's chin, and that's really going to be hard for Kyle to get that good angle. He kind of has to retreat and reset. I'm expecting Jake to try to, next time he gets posture, try to come up and create that standing pressure.
Sure.
Because staying low in the rubber guard of a guy like Kyle is going to be very, very dangerous. And even if you're good at defending the submissions, it's hard to put out any offense. And again, all it takes is one misalignment of the knee or elbow and you're caught. Now he's doing a good job driving his left knee into his left elbow to try to create pressure into Kyle's legs, and this might be in a good angle for him to try to get into a passing position, which it is. And now he uses the pass all the way through. Beautiful pressure passing.
Beautiful pressure pass.
But Kyle's able to get the knees right back inside and now is looking to enter the legs and through the butterfly. Very sneaky guard work by Kyle.
Very nice underhook butterfly game. Good base by Jake on top here.
Jake behind, he's trying to take that back from standing. Coming from Wagner Rocha's gym, this is something they are very good at. You see Wagner do it all the time.
He gets to a deep body triangle.
It's a big change of fortune from there off that scramble. Now Jake has a tight body triangle. He's looking to get control and slowly pull Kyle into an angle where he can start setting up the choke. Switch his sides to give him a better chance to the choke up after Kyle was doing a good job getting his shoulders to the mat. Now we're belly down with the body triangle, not a place you want to be. There's so much pressure on the hip and back. Jake's starting to get better upper body control now. Kyle's still doing a good job getting the shoulder. Jake's going to have to keep readjusting just like he is.
Beautiful.
Also, it can be a problem when you have the length that Kyle has. Clearing your legs is much harder. You have a much longer lever to create that space and try to get free. So that can sometimes be a real challenge to unlock that body triangle when there's that kind of leg length advantage. It's counterintuitive, but sometimes the long legs are a problem defensively. Jake looks very comfortable in this back ride, really doing a good job controlling even when the shoulders get free, which also bodes well if he gets into overtime rounds that he has really good EBI control.
Looks like Kyle's starting to kind of disrupt the integrity of his body triangle a little bit. But
yeah, he's getting a foot in the middle this time. We're now halfway through.
Jake just doing a really good job of keeping that chest to back connection.
He's starting to get a little bit more aggressive with the face, with the arm across the face, which is smart. He was trying to get kind of clean chokes, and now he's putting a little bit more neck and head pressure and making Kyle uncomfortable, making him really painful for the spine. Try to get that opening to try to find the neck, find his arm. This kind of half-twisted position that they're in is a very, very uncomfortable one for Kyle. His hips aren't completely flat. He's taking a lot of pressure into the rib cage. It makes it harder to breathe. And it's hard to move because you can't get a good push-off on the floor. You're not fully mounted. You're not like fully in the back take position. Now we're the mount with the body triangle, which is not fun for Kyle's spine.
Jake seems to be pretty content with cooking his opponent from here.
Yeah. When your hips are elevated with that body triangle from the mount, it's very hard to bridge because you can't get a connection to the floor.
Sure.
Kyle doing a very good job with his actual submission defense. While he's been caught in bad positions, he has been doing a really good job just surviving, keeping safe. Now we're seeing some more signature Wagner Rocha stuff from Jake with the muffle from the top, which
Classic
is a
Wagner.
very smart way to wear out an opponent, frustrate them when you're caught in a bad position. You're not going to most likely tap them from there, but you just do not want to have trouble breathing when you're getting a body triangle wrapped around you. Now he's reaching for the leg, looking for a little spine lock there. Jake really showing a wide variety of options and attacks. As you can see, even the kip escape is not going to work when you have your hips elevated this way. You're not going to create that kind of rocking or rolling motion you need. And now he's getting to a better hip position to do it as the body triangle gets unlocked. Good work by Kyle getting out of that position and trying to recover his guard. And he's able to.
Very
now
good.
He goes
work
right
back
into his attacks as he's going to need to.
Right back to that rubber guard again. Very, very slick he is with entering that position. Very patient defense by Kyle on the bottom there. That was very beautiful.
Now he's climbing up for those arms. Again, looking for dead orchards. Threat of Murata Platas, threat of Gogoplatas, but Jake's good pressure from the top is able to force that back, and now we're seeing some reverse guard. Yeah.
Something made a lot more familiar to me with the last Midwest finishers last year, 170 bracket.
Yeah. Now this is not the kind of reverse close guard that you're seeing a lot of the guys like Abe from New Wave play or Owen Jones play, going for Abe locks, but you can still find some of the similar foot locks from here. Interesting position.
Very interesting position. We'll see how.
We might see some high ground attacks from here from Jake. This is another kind of newer thing you're seeing more and more of.
Beautiful entry into the saddle
legs.
position.
Yep. Kyle does a good job controlling those legs. Jake's got to roll through to get exposure, but while doing that, you're going to give your partner the best chance to create smashing pressure and pull their leg free.
Yeah, Jake with a beautiful entry. However, Kyle was able to get to some very good smashing pressure right off the bat, making it
having that
difficult.
length that we talked about could have been a detriment earlier. Helped Kyle there, but Jake's
Nice
able to
recovery.
roll through and get that leg exposure again. I was looking to pull that leg down and get belly down into it.
It's a better position here. However, Kyle's still got his legs pretty.
Those legs are far away. Those little
Very,
long
very far
legs
away.
are pretty far away from him. Now here's a toe
a
hold
nice
knee bar
extension.
option. The knee bar looks good, but Kyle does a good job training the knee away.
He's trying to switch to that inside heel
Heel
hook,
hook.
or outside, excuse me.
Now you're worried about
got
the
a
back
nice bite.
exposure. 1 minute left.
Kyle doing a really good job hand fighting from this position. Looks calm like he's been here before.
Gets the leg, secondary leg inside. I think he's gonna be able to cross his feet through. Awkward hip position here. Jake trying to create space to isolate those legs, but again, the length of Kyle is really helping him stay ahead and stay into a good position where it's gonna be hard to isolate that leg, especially with the short amount of time left.
Ooh,
Kyle
nice
now
head and arm
gets that-
position.
Yeah, he gets a nice chest-to-chest connection, which is going to probably end that leg lock attempt threat. And now he's going to put some good pressure into Jake from this position. I'm guessing we may end the round here, unless either guy makes a really big movement to try to force something right at the end of regulation. If I was Kyle, I would just stay here and keep heavy pressure on Jake, try to wear him out as we get ready for the overtime. As we go into the overtime, there we go. As we go into the overtime, it'll be interesting to see. We saw Jake on the back for a considerable amount of time during the round, not able to get the submission, but we did not get to see Kyle in the offensive position. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to have the overtime superiority. So Jake is going to attack first. I heard him tell the ref he wants the back. Again, he showed some really good back control in the regulation.
Starting on the back.
Right away goes for the body triangle. And as I mentioned, compared to the earlier overtime round, again, right away you're going for the body triangle. Kyle did a good job of not letting it happen. But you can almost always expect the competitors to look for that option. Kyle, again, coming from a 10th Planet background, you know he's prepared for EBI.
Jake kind of playing the dilemma between throwing in that top hook and playing the halfback here.
Being smart, making sure he's getting extra ride time, not going over aggressive, and now he's looking for that head and arm. He can use it, set up the choke on the top, or attack it from the back as well. Gets the hooks back in, back to a body triangle. Now he's putting some nice arm in position, almost a little rotolatine. But then opts just go back to regular back control.
That was a nice dilemma game played there by Jake.
Yeah, you can tell Jake is just really well schooled in his back game. Kyle doing a really good job, though. He's attacking the body triangle, keeping it to the inside, keeping his hands high, not letting Jake get good locks around the face or the neck. Now he was going for the feet, and then Jake really started to put some chin and shoulder pressure in. Again, going for a little bit of a face lock. Kyle again just was able to strip those grips.
Nice and calm with his defense.
Yeah, get back to more neutral positions, stretching out Jake's arms, trying to rotate inside. And for the escape, he has to get both the hip line free and that inside elbow. The ref was about to call it free, but he did not get that angle. See, almost like a modified type of twister position, not a full twister. And that's our escape. So really nice control by Jake, getting a long ride, but Kyle was able to survive and eventually get the escape. Kyle definitely looks to be taking some big, deep breaths after that control. Now he's going to be attacking Jake, and he's going to opt for spiderweb, our first spiderweb of the day. This is generally, you're going to get a quick submission or a quick escape. It's the less common of the two positions, so sometimes it could be a deficit for the escaper. Kyle using those long legs to put pressure on the arm. Looking for that. He's looking for that nice arm crush into the arm bar. Jake's able to keep the hands connected and come up, and he gets out. So that's what I mean, a much quicker escape time usually. It was a nice attack by Kyle, but Jake now has a big ride time advantage after one overtime session.
Jake looks to opt for the back again. It looks like he's going to try to go for as much ride time as possible here.
Yeah, definitely after that first one, even though he didn't get the submission, you can definitely tell he has such a good control from the back that he wants to use this.
Right to a good body triangle again.
Against Kyle Smart, he's trying to put pressure into that body triangle, trying to free the hips using his long legs to try to create leverage underneath. He's doing a good job alleviating a lot of that pressure, forcing Jake to switch. Jake does very well, though.
Kyle really trying to disrupt that body triangle as much as he can. Easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah, especially when we're worried about ride times as the rounds go deep. The problem with the body triangle, why so many people are going to use it, is even if you're defending the choke ball, you're just kind of stuck here. And the more you focus on opening the legs, the more your neck and arms can get opened up. So it really creates problems both in escaping and both as defending. And his experienced guy like Jake is just doing a good job of attacking once Kyle starts worrying about the legs and repositions. None of the attacks have really gotten close to getting a submission on Kyle. He's done a really, really good job of just staying safe while defending. But again, he's just losing the ride time battle. It'll be interesting if he does get the escape here, or whether he gets the escape or not. If he opts to go spiderweb again, or he tries to go to back and see what he can do from there. Jake just being smart, switching side to side with that body triangle, keeping it just in his favor, where he's just got good control. Not selling out for the choke or the submission, making sure he just stays in a good position.
He's also using a high chest lock quite a bit to really work on that control. It seems to be working for him.
Now, one of the things strategically you think about as these rounds go on is, again, he's using a lot more energy as this fight is, whole regulation and going into multiple overtimes, where the first two competitors in our opening round got submissions early and didn't use nearly as much energy. Sure. And that really matters when you get the second, third, fourth match of the day. Jake got a full 2-minute ride that time, so the ride time is gigantic favor him after his 2 rides. So again, Kyle's going to go armbar. It's for the spiderweb. So he's deciding that ride time is not his thing, which I think might be a really smart choice. And you hope you kind of wear the arms of your opponent out round after round, as well as he's using a lot of arm energy and that choke and control. Jake clears his head, which is a good way to come up.
Nice potential triangle setup here as well.
So the leg comes on the inside, and he's connected. Now he's in a mounted triangle. He can finish the choke or the arm lock for here. Now into a nice side triangle. Not the best angle to choke, but he can put a ton of pressure into Jake's arms and isolate that arm from here.
Yeah, this is a much, much better opportunity for Kyle here than the first round.
Yeah, and with the length he has with his legs, this is going to be a harder spot. Now he's going back to a nice kind of spider web with the triangle. Now he gets the hand separated.
Nice arm extension. We might have a potential submission here.
And now he's got the triangle as well.
Beautiful defense by Jake.
But now he's locked in a triangle.
Keeping that shoulder.
Kyle's going to try to climb up into a mounted triangle again. Jake pushing him down. Now he's going the double legs over the top. And there's the
Good
escape.
defense by Jake.
Really fun overtime scramble there. Now we're going to head into our third
Beautiful
overtime
back and
round.
forth.
So it's still a big ride time advantage for Jake, but really, really nice attacking there from Kyle. So I think we're going to see the same thing. I think Jake's going to go from the back, try to control, and then Kyle's going to really try to get that sub when he gets to his round, looking for the arm. Obviously, Jake had to use some real gas or some real fuel to get out at that time. His arm's probably a little tired. Let's see if he has less control, or if he tries to get a quick sub to try to get out of here. Kyle does a much better job getting to a hip-free position. He still has to get the elbow free, even if his hips are free. And he
A lot
does.
more aggressive with his defense
And I
that time.
think that
Beautiful.
escape came from the attack in the last round. Kyle really made Jake use a lot of energy in that last round. So here we go. The last of our overtime round. Kyle needs to get a submission.
It's for all the marbles.
Without a submission, he's going to lose the ride time battle. He has some really nice pressure going on the arm. Jake's climbing up, climbing up. Again, he's going for that arm crush. Jake's coming up. Head's coming free. Let's see if he can get out.
Really, really good posture by Jake here.
He's just going to yank out.
Kyle doing a good job keeping the connection, but it's not looking too good.
Now Jake stepping over to try to use his hips, and there's the escape.
Good job
So
from
Jake Strauss is going to get the win in overtime. A really fun match. Really great attacks by Kyle and great defense. I'm sure we're going to see him again, but he's just going to come up just short in his ride time.
Yeah, very exciting match between the two competitors. Hands off to both of them.
Moving on, our next match in this bracket will be Michael Crow from TCB Combat Sports against Nick Creighton from Adamas Jiu-Jitsu. Nick is a Midwest finishers vet. He's a really high-level competitor. He's made it to the finals here. He's won an ADCC Absolute division recently up in Toronto. A very, very high-level competitor, training with Dante Leone. Multiple-time Midwest finishers champ Max Hansen, Brad Schneider, another Midwest finishers champ. So, you know, he is incredibly prepared for this tournament, training with some of the best guys in the world and very experienced in our rule set. Mike Crow is new to the division, new to our Midwest finishers, so it'll be an interesting matchup here.
Our next match, Michael Crow versus Nicholas Creighton.
So Mike Crow, one-leg grappler against Nick Creighton. Watching a grappler like Mike out of the match is an inspiration. Yeah, quick pass by Nick. Nick is an incredibly skilled grappler, really brings a well-rounded game, constantly hunting submission and positions. Immediately with a nice head and arm, almost into the mount position already. Good escape and recovery by Mike. Now he's tying up Nick's leg. Nick up on the head and arm. Gets another pass.
Yeah, 2 quick pass attempts so far, but again, we don't have to worry too much about, definitely don't have to worry about the points in this scenario. However, we'll see, what kind of threats that we'll see from this quick pass attempt.
Nick with some really nice heavy pressure from the top. Looks like he's trying to set up a head and arm. Mike's got his left arm in trying to block Nick's hips from coming over into the mount as Nick tries to dig that left arm in for the underhook and head. Now he's looking to switch to a Darce attack. Mike able to invert and get back through.
Mike looking very comfortable in some of these bad positions. He's able to recover very, very quickly.
Nick now looking for a little almost Choi bar action from the top. Gets a nice bite on the arm. He's going to use it to try to maybe extend and take the back. Now Mike controlling Nick's leg.
Good exchange from both competitors so far. Beautiful knee cut attempt.
Again, he's just getting nice and deep with that head and arm, putting a lot of pressure on Mike as he gets into these side control positions. And this is a strategy you'll see our high-level competitors do, is they don't try to force the submission early. They get to good positions, whether it's flat half guard, side control, put good heavy pressure on, make the opponent use a lot of energy escaping and defending, and then slowly get deeper and deeper kind of each subsequent attack. Nick again with heavy pressure, keeping the shoulders pinned, looking at isolate head and arm positions here. I go into a little bit more of a north-south angle to block the hip recovery for Mike. Mike doing really good jobs with framing and getting his guard back again. Very, very tough from the bottom. Mike just trying to come forward, trying to get a good connection on Nick to prevent that pass, but Nick again with that nice entry with his knee cut. Mike able to recover that guard. Backstep looking to attack the leg. Banter from the competitors. And Nick gets a nice straight forelock on micro. And Nick will be moving on to our second round. And with that, our first half of our bracket is done. We'll be moving into the second half. And now coming up, one of my most anticipated matches, we have Gavin Corby from Standard Jiu-Jitsu. One of the top grapplers in this bracket, has to be one of the favorites. Third place finish in the ADCC trials, going against Lucas Jones, who is a Midwest finishers vet, getting to our finals of our last tournament with some crazy submissions. He has the ability to submit anybody, but these are two incredibly talented young grapplers. If you've not seen Gavin Corby compete, he is a world-class grappler. Brother of DeAndre Corby, who is an ADCC competitor this year, teammate of Alex Wynn, who has won multiple Midwest Finishers Championships. Anyone from Standard is going to be well prepared for any rule set. So Gavin in the black and blue rash guard, Lucas in the black and white. Lucas, I believe, somehow is still a blue belt.
Somehow.
Yeah. We've seen him submit multiple black belts here on the Midwest Finisher stage. Again, no gi often belts do not matter. Lucas gets a little single. Gavin just lets him have it. He's super calm and relaxed. Again, Gavin has wins over some elite grapplers. He's at that ADCC level.
They're both competitors looking super calm.
Yeah.
Gavin seemed to be completely okay with giving up the single leg like in these different positions. Nice arm drag attempt.
Lucas Jones of Mat Factory. Very tough team. Always come with great wrestling, great submissions. Always come to scrap. I expect this one to be able to have a little feeling out and then see some high intensity scrambles as both guys get a feel for each other. Very nice hand fight from both guys. These are two guys who have really high level stand up. Neither one wanting to concede guard in this match, even though both guys have really high level submission games from their back as well as the top.
Nice 2-on-1 situation from Gavin here.
Lucas again with a single.
He looks very comfortable with counter wrestling, Gavin does. Lucas seems to be the one initiating a little bit more of the lower body attacks here in the wrestling. Gavin opting out for that 2-on-1 control pretty consistently. Doing a good job with that inside bicep tie. A nice arm drag attempt here from Lucas.
Nice back exposure there by Lucas.
Very technical exchanges by both competitors so far.
Definitely. Nice deep underhook there by
Very
Lucas.
nice underhook.
Nice snap down by Gavin. Inside trip.
Very nice chains.
Yeah, very nice up and down attack there from Gavin. Again, one of the most experienced grapplers in this tournament and one of the highest level grapplers you will find in Gavin Corby. And again, showing those just kind of small things that, you know, really matter at the high level. These have been very even wrestling exchanges. Both guys getting some good angles and looks, but neither guy can get really fully deep to get that finish. And then with that, Gavin decides to sit. Lucas just jumps across. Gavin uses that to come across. You will see a lot of funky attacks from Lucas. He does not mind being on top or bottom. He'll kind of throw anywhere.
Immediately a strong passing attempt here from Gavin.
Now, the thing with Lucas is he has a very, very high-level buggy choke. He has submitted multiple people on this stage with the buggy choke. So he does not necessarily mind if you pass his guard.
You already see it coming there.
There he goes. Again, he's got connection. But a really nice job of Gavin going with it, and now he's getting into an arm lock. And now hitchhike out. This is the kind of scrambles I was looking forward to in this matchup. And now Gavin with a nice attack from the bottom.
Beautiful technical jiu-jitsu from these guys. Nice little kiss of the dragon, spinning under. See if he's able to attach to the legs. Uses it to come out top.
Again, just flow of positions here. Gavin is going to be one of the best guard passers you are going to see. And again, while Lucas doesn't necessarily mind him passing as he throws that buggy up, you know, Gavin can get up on the head and arm and flatten him out. You just see Lucas baiting that buggy choke. Nice back exposure by Gavin. Lucas gets the frame. He's going to throw up that buggy on the other side again. Gavin
Very nice ride.
Gavin doing a good job checking the hip this time to not allow that buggy to flow up. Lucas now bringing the arms in.
Just postured a little bit and was able to potentially recover his guard here. There we go.
It's always an interesting dilemma of when you want to pass the guard, but that could be your opponent's one of his best attacks is allowing you. Good sit back for Gavin.
Lucas doing a really good job of clearing the feet, not letting them come across the
For a
center
little
line.
Aoki lock option.
He's got deep on the knee line here.
5 minutes through.
Again, Lucas doing a really good job of keeping those legs disconnected.
Gavin just doing a really good job with that passing.
We're going to see a potential Choi bar opportunity here.
Gavin's able
doing a
to
really
get
good
chest
job.
and again, buggy option against for Lucas. Gavin does a great job defending, keeping him flat.
Give either of these guys an inch and they'll take a mile.
Yeah. We're going to get close to a reset as they're getting close to our crowd. Gavin again with the
Comes
pass.
up to a single. Gavin spinning around to the back.
Now interesting arm lock option here.
Potential Kimura. Triangle.
Reverse triangle. Now Lucas spinning to an arm bar.
Beautiful scramble. Trying to
Gavin in on the leg.
Potential saddle or backside 50-50 here. He's got both legs locked up here. Wow.
Yeah, this could be a bad position for Lucas. Lucas starts looking for his own attack on the heel. Very interesting position here. We'll see if Gavin opts to attack either side or keep control to try to let Lucas pull a leg out and attack the other.
Sure. Yeah, very, very fortunate scenario here for Gavin.
Now Gavin looking for the heel. He's attacking both legs beautifully, going for almost a Wojulak on Lucas's left leg while attacking the heel hook on the right. As Lucas defends one, he goes to the attacking the other. Very, very nice situation for Gavin to be in. Lucas now starting to get the legs separated. Let's see if he's able to create some angle to pull his leg out. Gavin able to reconnect the legs.
Gavin doing a really good job controlling this position, repummeling the feet if they get compromised even slightly. It's just a little off angle from that heel hook.
Option. He doesn't have the best bite on the leg because Gavin's hips are free, but gave him enough to make Gavin have to readjust a little bit.
Gavin just really having a tough time getting the angle to get the bite on the heel hook. Looks like he has a little bit more threat on the straight ankle option on the top side leg. Here we go.
Now it looks like he has a heel hook, and there's the submission.
Beautiful inside heel
Gavin
hook.
Corby with the heel hook, a beautiful transitional attack. Moving on to our next round.
Gavin not looking too satisfied with this match for some reason. I was very impressed by both competitors.
That was a very, very fun match as we expected when we saw the bracket. Gavin Corby moving on into our quarterfinals. Next up, we have Team Enigma's Jason Roberts against Luke Rennick of 10th Planet Greenville. Jason, brown belt, coming in. He's one of the more undersized competitors in this bracket, jumping in to try to push himself. Luke is an experienced competitor coming from Manny Vasquez's gym in 10th Planet Greenville. Manny is a Midwest Finishers champ. Luke has fought on the card as well in some super fights. Jason competes a lot all over different rule sets. Midwestern guy, he just opened his own gym, Team Enigma, I believe, a couple days ago.
A third-party commentator, Big Saul, in the background. Always bringing some good energy to the gym.
So Jason in the black and brown, Luke in the all-white. Definitely you can see a little size difference in this one. Luke, the kind of bigger, solid 170 again. Jason, more of a 145, 155 pounder who wants to jump in. Immediately on the leg.
Lays right into that shin to shin. Really nice outside heel hook attempt right off the bat.
He's got a nice fight.
See if he goes for a little belly down shotgun style ankle lock here.
Now baby going, and he gets the submission.
Very, very
Jason
quick.
Roberts quick. Beautiful submission. And we'll move on to our quarterfinal. We'll be meeting Gavin Corby. And we will move right along. Next matchup, we have Stephen Carlisle of Grace Humaita against Jaden Groner of 10th Planet Lombard. Jaden is a homegrown talent here. He is going to be a big name in the coming years. He's still a teenager. Big 170 pounder coming in against Stephen Carlisle, coming up from Grace Humaita. You'll probably see here the biggest cheers of the day for Jaden. Again, he is born and raised at 10th Planet Lombard. Again, he has some big wins, ADCC open titles. He's submitted some tough black belts in competition already as a teenager. Really, really big things coming for Jaden.
Our next match, Stephen Carlisle versus Jaden Groner.
Jaden's got to be one of the biggest 170s in this bracket, cutting some serious weight. He is a very big and strong kid.
Here we go. Jaden immediately aggressive with that collar tie, Russian ties.
Nice
Good foot sweep attempt.
Yeah. One back from Jaden. Both of them going for the foot sweeps. Nice attempt for Steve. Kind of sits off that takedown attempt not being there. Jaden right in. Right in on the leg. A little bolt cutter. Now Jaden in on the leg. We might have another quick submission here. That is tight. And there it is, Jaden with the Jaden Groner with the footlock quick. Moving on to our quarterfinals. Again, watch out for Jaden Groner. He is going to be a star in the sport in the coming years. And our last of our opening round attacks or matches for 170-pound bracket, we have a real MMA's Kyle Perkins against Christian Papadelos of New Wave. Again, New Wave competitor coming from one of the top gyms in the world. Oh, and Kyle, yes, gets the win. Christian is not here, evidently. So Kyle will move on. Kyle is a tough local black belt who has a lot of experience, really tough leg locker, and he will be fighting Jaden in our quarterfinals. So with that, we are done with our opening round of our 170-pound bracket, and we've been moving on into a couple super fights. That was a fun opening round with a lot of highlights, a lot of tough submissions, as we always expect. So we're going to have 3 super fights as we get ready for our second round. We're going to have another one of 10th Planet Lombard's own, Oskar Imabekov against Isaac Akron-Gold against Standard. Okay. Got it. All right. I will we'll corrected that match is not actually going to be on the card. So we're going to have Michael Riscala against Corey Barnes, Michael of Viana Brothers, one of the long-running gyms in Chicagoland, and Corey Barnes from Alliance AZO. That's going to be our next super fight. just about ready. Getting the competitors get ready for the super fight.
So Jeff, with the EBI overtime rule set, you know, I would assume that it's situational, but which generally do you like to go for when it comes to
It really depends on the opponent I'm going against. I honestly do think Spiderweb is underutilized and not enough people play it. But I also think because of that, it's an opportunity to catch opponents off guard. Sure. It's a much more riskier position, but I think there's just less meta into the game of how to play it, where everyone at the high level knows the back game so well.
Sure. That's a good point.
So here we go, Michael Riscala and the Viana Brothers rash guard against Corey Barnes and the black and white kit.
Right off the bat, we're looking to see some aggression out of both competitors. Michael's super
Corey
aggressive
low
right off
back
the bat.
exposure, uses it for a takedown.
Corey gets a really, really nice body lock attempt here.
Looks like Corey wants to sit back for a leg right away. You can see the way he's wrapping that leg. I would not be surprised to see him sit back.
Looks like a blend between sitting back and trying to high step out of that guard.
And Mike uses it to get on top. He has some head control, but he may get his back exposed while looking for the head. This is going to be an interesting position to see. Right away, Corey's in the legs. You can tell this is his game.
Very nice off balance.
Corey now inside. Oh, Mike jumps on the toe hold. The leg's
nice
a little
toe hold
straight, but he's
attempt
putting some good pressure in there. Corey untying those legs.
His knee is just about out, it looks like.
Doesn't look like he has the perfect knee line control, but he definitely has a good bite on that foot because even after all that rotation, Corey's still stuck in that toe hold.
Thank God these are some of the smaller competitors. That movement was a little bit easier there.
Nice not having to let go and reset that position. Now Corey jumps back on his own. Now he's on his own leg, looking for a heel hook here. Looks like a tight bite, and he gets the submission. Corey Barnes with the outside heel hook after surviving that toe hold attempt, and he gets the submission. And Corey
Very exciting super fight between those two competitors.
Fast-paced match. Both guys just attacking pretty much the whole time until we get our submission. And I believe we'll now be moving into one of our only women's fights of the day, as we have underground submission grappling's Chelsea Cainberg against Isabel Dawson of Sales BJJ. Isabel did jump in and take this match on a couple days' notice, as Chelsea's original opponent had to pull out, I think, due to some sickness. So it's great that we could get her a match.
Our next match is a super fight. Chelsea Cainberg versus Isabella Dawson.
So Chelsea in the pink and black zebra stripe, and Isabella in pink and black, I think a level X.
If I'm not mistaken, this is our only women's super fight today?
I think so, yeah. Isabella sits right away.
Good posture and control right off the bat.
Isabella tries to get underneath.
Good side, top side pressure, but she ends up getting...
She gets some leg exposure. Isabella's got the straight foot.
Right.
Nice traditional Ashi position.
Good straight ankle.
The knees were a little open though. Now Chelsea looking for a little bit of counter leg lock as she comes forward.
Good topside pressure. She's able to get that knee in front of the foot. Makes it a little bit harder if you go for that foot lock.
Isabel wants to create that off balance.
Very nice off balance. Good
Now
sweep
she's looking
opportunity.
for an arm bar. Nice scramble.
Nice way
Close
to close
guard
up
for
the guard.
Chelsea. And we're seeing a lot of close guard today. We're seeing a lot of kind of high guard attacks, dead orchard type attacks. That's a nice angle for Chelsea. Trying to look for that classic arm attack to set up the back. Isabel doing a good job defending, trying to get that arm back, trying to get her posture back. And she's able to get the elbow back across the body. So it definitely looks like Chelsea's game. She's trying to get those arms across. Very traditional 2-on-1s, arm drags to the back, arm drags to the arm lock.
So we're going to run the Oscar match right after this one.
So again, Chelsea doing a really good job attacking these angles. Now uses it for a back attack to the sweep. Beautiful jiu-jitsu there. See if Isabel can create space with her arms. Chelsea now in a nice strong mount position with the elbows separated from the body. Now you might see mount to triangle territory. Isabel's left arm is getting under the knee.
Yeah, it definitely looks like she's going to be trying to set up that triangle. The way that she's kind of climbing to the left angle like that, pulling up on the head. Opts for the control instead.
Isabel framing on the hips, trying to not allow Chelsea to come high. Chelsea's trying to pull those elbows up and get to a stronger mount position. Good defense from Isabel.
She gets that left knee up pretty high. She's starting to cut that good angle. And she's able to create any offensive opportunities off of that.
Chelsea being very patient here, keeping good mount control, not trying to force the submission because she has plenty of time to attack.
Really trying to get under those elbows in the mount. I'm sure she's going to be trying to get up high up on the mount under those elbows before she starts thinking about attacking.
Based on Chelsea's game from the guard with those arm isolations, I think she's looking to step an armbar from here. Isabel doing a good job getting her arms a little bit underneath. Chelsea's smart, resets that position, kind of gets back into a more traditional mount. Now Isabel getting underneath and is able to get a knee back inside. Nice recovery.
Very nice recovery from Isabel, but a great pass attempt by Chelsea right off
She's
the
throwing
bat.
up her own triangle armbar attacks. Double underhooks though from Chelsea.
Really aggressive double underhooks from Chelsea here.
Heavy pressure forward from Chelsea.
Really good pass defense on bottom here.
Oh, into some legs.
Very nice off balance by Isabel. She's got a potential leg entanglement here.
Oh, some counter turn. There's the submission.
If I believe correctly, that was a belly down knee bar.
Very fun match there. Both ladies showing some really good offense and defense. Getting to a leg lock shootout. And Isabel Dawson able to get the submission.
Isabel doing a shout out for Happy National Women's Day.
So we have one more super fight. A slight switch our order here before we jump back into our tournament. Now we got the Isaac Ekron Gold versus Askar Imanbekov matchup. We got Isaac representing Standard and Askar hometowns 10th opponent Lombard. What happened?
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Isaac just got out of the ER due to an allergic reaction, but still on the mats. That is a wild day to say the least.
That's some commitment right there.
Yeah, against a really tough opponent in Oscar. We've seen him here before. He's a scrapper.
This is a super fight between Oscar Imapikov and Isaac Ekron.
So fresh out of the ER, Isaac against Oscar. Any competitor coming out of Standard like Isaac, you know they're going to be well prepared. Very, very tough gym, creating elite talent. And then Oscar from our hometown, 10th opponent Lombard, he likes to battle. Nice Nice little off-balance and foot sweep attempt there from Isaac. Oscar with a little shot to the single.
Good defense with that as well.
Isaac sends a sit. We're going to get that.
There's
Just
a
to
lot
find
of
that
shin to
inside
shin.
connection.
Opts to a De La Riva position as opposed to that shin to shin. Very nice knee cut.
Oscar doing a little nogi toriendo action there.
Gives her hands. Gives her hands.
We're seeing a lot of the taller, longer competitors really using
Nice entry into the legs.
a very effective guard
Oh,
system.
now Oscar challenged it into a back take.
Beautiful sweep attempt here.
And then Isaac uses it immediately. What a scramble.
What a scramble.
And now Oscar creates that exposure. Front headlock here.
Keep them in front of your elbows. In front of your elbows. Right elbows. Good. Right hand. Keep your head in front.
Oscar starting to get that right elbow away from the body. Isaac able to get back to his guard. No harm, no foul there in that position. Isaac needs to get a little bit more connection here. A little route drag. Into the
Classic round
armbar.
drag right into an armbar. Beautiful position here.
Oh, that arm looked bad. He gets the arm. And there's a submission. Oscar coming back off with a beautiful submission. The armbar off the route drag.
Beautiful performance by both guys, but Oscar really capitalizing off that route drag into the armbar. Very nice position. Really exciting match by both competitors
One
there.
performance from Isaac coming straight from the ER to jump on the mat. Win or lose, that's an incredible performance. And with that, we are jumping back into our men's 175-pound bracket, and now the fireworks are starting. Get ready to start. Kevin Beering against Harrison Woods. This could easily be a final or semifinal, and this is our quarterfinals. Both had really nice submission wins in our opening round. Both very experienced competitors.
Yeah, as Jeff and I were talking earlier, he was mentioning that we're going to see some really good matchups regardless. But as this bracket continues to progress, we're going to see some really technical exchanges between these guys.
Both Kevin and Harrison looked really solid in those opening rounds.
Match for a men's 170-pound bracket between Kevin Beering and Harrison Woods.
So here we go. Kevin, as always, looks incredibly relaxed.
Kevin might be one of the most relaxed grapplers I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, especially for a guy who can end a fight so incredibly quickly. Sometimes with those fast submission guys, they're kind of the fast twitch, where Kevin just looks like he's so confident in his movement. It's almost like he's on autopilot.
That's a good point.
Nice overhook here from Kevin.
Threatening that mirror lock for a moment there. Nice single leg attempt. Good defense by Kevin.
So Kevin set his leg lock up in the opening round from the top after an opponent pulled, but he has a great guard as well. Harrison with the takedown. Kevin kind of concedes it off the single, but then he comes back up. We're going to reset in the center, back on the feet.
They give him the single.
Kevin just kind of goes back down, wanting to get back into the legs.
Kevin opts to get back to the feet. Harrison seems to be initiating the takedowns a little bit more.
Kevin looks like he's just waiting for an opportunity to use Harrison's energy against him. Nice underhook.
Nice underhooks.
Nice trip attempt, and back into that single. Again, getting a nice kind of treetop to get Kevin on his back. And so far in these exchanges, both in this match and the first, Kevin was using these opportunities to try to get back to his feet. Now he's looking like he's actually going to play his guard a little bit more this one. Harrison giving some nice forward pressure into the hips.
Yeah, Harrison really having a lot of success with that single today.
Kevin now trying to get inside that outside heel hook. He is world class at this. You cannot let him get an exposure in this position.
Beautiful defense by Harrison there. Way to
Harrison
get his
pulls
knee
the
line
leg
out.
back. Kevin's going to try to pull him right back in. Last Midwest finishers we had Kevin on the stage, we saw one of the most horrific leg breaks we've ever seen from that outside heel. You cannot let him get an exposure of your knee and your heel. He has so much breaking power there.
Thanks for reminding me, Jeff.
Yeah. I would not say to look that clip up, but if you want to see a bad leg break.
He's so. And as Kevin starts getting pushed out of bounds, he's still looking very relaxed with the body lock and single leg
I don't
attempts.
think you're going to phase Kevin. Harrison has the rear body lock in our reset. And he pulls Kevin down. Kevin will be able to get back to his guard. Smart defense, getting right back to where he feels comfortable. Harrison doing a really good job of controlling the pace of this match. And he's putting some good pressure on wrestling, keeping pressure in. The one time his leg got exposed, he did a good job of scrambling out at 11, not letting Kevin get set.
Let's see if he's able to create, Harrison, able to create the good passing opportunity.
Doing a little nice side-to-side movement there, setting up some leg drags. Kevin just looking to get attached, get some good connections, and use that to off-balance Harrison to get underneath him.
Back to more traditional butterfly. You can see he's really trying to force that knee cut or that knee staple. Good backstep opportunity.
Nice leg pummeling there by Harrison. Gets a nice pass option. Kevin does a good job just recovering, coming back to his feet. Harrison not conceding it. He's forcing him down. Here's another exposure. More of a straight foot lock position. Harrison did a good job pulling those legs out, high stepping to get free. This is a high level matchup here.
Great reaction from the crowd. Rightfully so.
I think everyone here after those first matches can tell just how high level both these grapplers are. But again, they're going towards the edge. Harrison not conceding anything in these exchanges. He wants to kind of keep the pressure on and control the stand-up in the game. Head working back to center. Harrison again doing a good job shooting those hard underhooks in. Kevin look for a little inside trip judo action there, maybe Nuchamata. Interesting, sitting right into like there's that outside heel hook exposure again. This could be it. This could be it. Kevin is world class at this position.
Very good submission attempt here, but it looks like we've found ourselves the defense.
Now we're looking for
Aoki
like
lock.
Aoki, yeah. But Harrison does a good job fighting through. That was in a very dangerous position.
Very impressive defense.
Yeah. He never panicked, kept creating angles, kept hand fighting until he could get that leg free. But that's just how dangerous Kevin is. All it takes is one slight off balance, and he is in a deep submission position. So now we're resetting. We're talking about our inside positions. Again, when Kevin gets those feet on the inside and can pummel through into those ashis and double outside ashis, that is where he is the most dangerous. Harrison wants to get up, get those legs back.
Strong passing position here.
The no-gi lasso from Kevin to try to reattach so they can get a good connection and then pull Harrison through. We're halfway through this round.
Kevin seems to be playing this a lot to really negate a lot of the passing pressure.
Yep.
It's working well for him. You can tell the second that foot comes over into that lasso type position, Harrison just doesn't feel as comfortable pressuring forward.
Nice pushing the knee side to side to try to get hip connection from Harrison, but Kevin's doing such a good job framing and using that lasso that he's not getting inside to where he can really pass.
Harrison seems to be trying to threaten this a little bit more of a modern camping type position, but again, that lasso position is really making it difficult for him to get some good pressure.
And this no-gi lasso is not going to be used like a gi where you're really going to sweep or control with it, but it's just a really nice connection to not allow that upper body connection you need to get some good passing going. Again, Kevin, again, trying to get on the legs. Harrison doing a good job controlling the feet, especially as the match is getting deeper in. Nice exposure again.
Nice
Now
potential
Kevin
scramble
up.
here.
Now we're going to reset again. We're getting deep into this matchup now. Both grapplers kind of know what the other one's wanting to do, and we'll see who can either get back into their game or negate the other one. While both guys have real submission threats, I would not be surprised if we see an overtime as we get deep into this match.
Sure. Be interesting to see if Kevin gets into another leg entanglement, if he'll continue going for the heel hook again, or if he'll maybe switch to a straight ankle this time.
I mean, again, when you have a heel hook as good as Kevin's, and it's such a smart strategy of getting there and controlling it, I don't see him changing his strategy. It's almost won him the fight twice already. Harrison's done such a good job defending, but yeah, I think he has the utmost confidence that he can submit anybody in the world from that position if he gets it. The whole 10th Planet Atlanta team under Sean Applegate has great outside heel hooks. They may have the best outside heel hooks you're going to find as a gym. Now, this will be interesting to see if either guy wants to pull guard and attack this last about 2 minutes left we have in this matchup as we're getting late. Again, with a no-point situation, this is a lot of energy to be using wrestling late in the match. Again, interesting to see if they're kind of posturing for overtime, if they're trying to bait and attack. Harrison, doing some shoulder pushes, both kind of reaching out for collar ties, but neither one's really opening up for a big takedown. Harrison went for some shots earlier in the match, but those were actually some of Kevin's best opportunities to get in on the leg, so I think he's kind of changing that strategy. I think he's opted for more for arm drags or foot sweeps, things that he can get back exposure or cleaner entries.
Heavy collar tie by Harrison here.
A little inside trip into a front headlock option. Kevin defends it very well. Again, that deep underhook. Harrison's hit that a couple times, and he gets a nice body lock.
Back.
So now we have a rear body lock in the reset. So they have just about 1 minute left. Harrison trying to do a mat return to get Kevin's back exposed. Kevin just sits to get back to his guard. Smart strategy, not allowing that back exposure. Getting back to your comfortable structures. Time with good, strong frames. I think it's going to be tough to pass and finish Kevin in roughly a minute. Kevin's, always has that option of getting on the leg, which can be a quick fight ender. But Harrison has done such a good job defending it so far. It'll be interesting to see how much energy is being used as we get late into this match. Harrison with a nice passing option, getting that nice knee cut energy. But Kevin frames back. So we're now at 1 minute in this second round of our men's 170-pound bracket.
Kevin recovering back to that kind of lasso type position again.
So as we get late in this match, I would not be surprised to see some smart strategic energy. As you see Kevin pulling Harrison's head down, kind of like a standing collar tie. This is a good way to try to zap some energy, puts pressure on the lower back as we're getting to short times. Trying to either create a big reaction so we can get underneath, or just kind of zap a little energy by pulling down on that head and lower back. As Kevin just kind of relaxed in this kind of open guard position. The overtime here is going to be very interesting. Kevin has a lot of EBI experience competing in EBI, competing in the Midwest finishers many times. I've not seen Harrison as much EBI, but with the world-class grappling he brings, he's going to be well prepared in this position. And we're just about ready for our OT. Both guys seem to keep it conservative, and there we are. We're going to head to our overtime. Kevin Beering is going to start on the back.
Very deep and intentional seatbelt grip he gets right off the bat. Clearly Kevin has some experience with the OT rounds.
This is where we have some little conjecture on where the grips can start and who gets what grip to start. As you get some really high-level EBI overtime, this becomes a very contentious thing between competitors about who gets what grips. Kevin trying to get a really high grip. Harrison in his corner are trying to argue that they need to lower it so he can get a better defensive grip.
Right off the bat, Kevin is able to get to that deep body triangle. Once he gets to that body triangle, he's able to kind of be a little bit less aggressive on the seatbelt grip. He looks to be very,
Now
very
Kevin
aggressive
just
with the choke.
chaining those hands. Side to side attacks. He looks like he may have it.
A little bit of a face crank here. He's got the chin in, but he does have a fully locked in rear naked. Pretty good head positioning, full body triangle.
It's going to be hard to open up for Harrison. He's eating it, but you can only eat this for so long.
Beautiful defense from
Wow, he gets out. Very nice by Harrison.
Harrison really trying to get his back to the mat, but it's just tough with that body triangle. Controlling both hips the way that he's doing.
Kevin now starting to really build a lot of ride time as well. Watch for a thunderlock on that high arm. Kevin has another face crank. This one gets out again. Harrison doing a really good job pushing those elbows up.
Getting to the proper side of the body triangle.
There's the escape.
Good job by
Two
Harrison.
really nice bites from Kevin, but he's able to get away. Again. Again, a lot of fighting for who's going to get what grip, who's starting in what position.
Very nice deep body triangle by Harrison here. Looks to go to the high chest lock for control.
This is very, very high-level EBI game by both guys. Kevin coming from 10th Planet Atlanta, home of Ryan Aiken, who may be the best EBI back player in the world. You know he's incredibly schooled in this game, both offensively and defensively. But Harrison showing some really nice attacks as well, and showed beautiful defense in that first overtime.
Trying to go belly down again.
Almost a face crank there as well. Lots of scrabbling, but
Chest to back connection by Harrison here. Kevin doing a lot of big movements to scramble out, but Harrison doing a really good job staying connected, really staying good.
wow, they under the wall and have to reset.
Attempt by Kevin Way to escape that position here. That's right.
There's some argument about whether it was escape or a reset. Ref Hajir Azim has decided, I think it was an escape. So now Kevin's back on the offense for our second overtime. Both guys had pretty long rides. It's going to be interesting to see who's ahead in the ride time.
There's clearly some debate on the hand positioning here. Harrison really trying to get that chest to the back.
Oh, Harrison almost had that escape. And he
His back to the mask.
Kevin able to get it right back in.
Yeah, Kevin really slick with rotating his body to make sure he keeps that chest to back connection. That was impressive.
Harrison doing such a good job, though. Oh, and again, Kevin responds.
So close.
Resets now to the double unders.
Yeah, that double under position is just so effective for control. He's able to clear the elbow.
Harrison's hips need to clear. That's why
His hips aren't clear. His hips aren't clear. Everybody's arguing. He is not chest to chest. There's a cornerman arguing about whether he is out or not. The ref, I think, making the strong call there, or the smart call, making sure that you have to have a full shoulder and hip escape from the back to be able to have a for an end of the OT round.
This is a really, really evenly matched overtime, and a very, very tense overtime.
Sure.
Lots of arguing over positioning, escape times, and body positions. And I realize whoever wins this battle still has 2 more matches to win this tournament.
It's a long day for these competitors.
Nick Creighton, who is in the corner of Harrison, is really advocating for his athletes to get in a good position.
Which I could see his argument. Kevin getting some really, really strong position when he was taking the back as well.
And that's at this level, you got to fight for every little advantage you can get.
That's right, that's right. Harrison losing a little bit of that body triangle integrity, but it looks like he's still able to keep that good chest to back connection. Let's see if he opts for the seatbelt or the high chest lock.
They're going to hit the wall.
Good rolling.
Again, we ran into this position. They're going to pull him out, which I think is the right decision. If you reset, you'll never be able to recreate this.
That's not comfortable for the person in the body triangle.
This is a crazy battle to only be in the second round of our bracket. Even now, they're fighting for every little inch of position. Body triangle still locked in. Kevin going to unlock it. Harrison showing really, really smart EBI strategy. Kevin doing a great job trying to unlock that body triangle and make it more just cross legs. But Harrison doing such a good job winning that upper body fight.
Harrison has the length to be able to cross both hips with both feet too. It's very, very effective in that regard. Switching back to the body triangle.
Still in. Again, they're going to go to the wall again, and they're going to reset him again. With the double unders and the body triangle, this could be a long, long ride. It can be very tough. Even if there's not a threat of the choke, those double unders can sometimes hold it. As I say that, Harrison goes for the choke. He's not wanting to just win by ride time. He wants the submission.
Good job of reestablishing the underhook on the bottom side like that. That's going to help him keep the control.
We're starting to get deep into this round's ride time. Good readjustment. If he can get a full ride this round, it will give him a ride advantage. Oh, as I said, that Kevin gets the shoulders almost free. Harrison readjusts. This is a really, really tough EBI round for both guys.
Very, very tight one.
This may be the most even back and forth time. He gets a full 2-minute ride. This is one of the highest level EBI back and forths I've seen, both from finishers or other EBI tournaments. 2 so evenly matched competitors, both physically, technically.
Have you got a chance to roll with either of these competitors, Jeff?
I have not. I've seen them both compete quite a bit. Looks like there's some pressure being put on by Kevin. From our angle, it's hard to see, but he's definitely putting some serious pressure in.
Looks to be over the chin, but
he's just trying to get that squeeze anyway.
Kevin's putting a lot of squeeze on the choke here.
This is kind of an all or nothing kind of fight. He wants that face crank. Harrison able to get free. Kevin's arms have to be kind of tired after that squeeze and all this overtime.
What a tight back and forth between these two guys.
You can feel kind of the tension rising as this round starts going, and we're in the third overtime. Both guys so good at this battle.
trying to fight for that bottom side head position. He's losing the angle just a little bit here, but he's still got such a deep body triangle. It's going to be tough.
The body triangle is just really keeping Harrison locked in. Whoever wins this fight is going to definitely be a little compromised as we get into the semifinals, because no one has been able to relax at all in these overtimes. Double underhooks, as we mentioned last overtime. Sometimes if you just want to get your full ride, this can be the strongest place you can be.
Sure. Harrison's corner is really urgently advocating for him to just explode and escape.
Wait, if you let Kevin get those double unders, you'll be here for the rest of the round.
For a long time. Doing a good job hand fighting.
And that's the full ride.
There it is.
So that's it. So Harrison, again, he's already had a full ride. Kevin's had a full ride. They both had good other rides. We're going to see one more background. Expect an explosive roll from Kevin to start trying to get out early and win this round. Definitely some, like I said, definitely some interesting back and forth here.
Some tension, to say the least.
Yeah. Neither guy's going to concede 1 inch in the start position. The ride time is going to be incredibly close if we get a deep ride in this round. Kevin going hard to try to get out. Harrison gets the body triangle, and Kevin is just going, just twisting and turning, but the body triangle is still in.
Kevin doing a really, really good job rotating through, but he hasn't really addressed that body triangle. So Harrison's really able to keep that good connection to his back.
Kevin doing a really good job just clearing that inside position and getting the hook back inside of the body triangle, but he still has a lot of space, a lot of work to do to get free. I think both guys are really thinking about just getting full rides and winning by their ride at this point. Kevin's trying to force it. Kevin is not conceding this round, but now the double unders. This ride time is going to be real, real close. That explosive start by Kevin to try to get out now, he got to be tired after that. That is an incredible amount of energy to roll that many times and pull that kind of weight. This is a crazy battle. Kevin's going to try to scramble again. There's not a lot of time left, but he wants to get out before the full 2-minute ride.
It's a super tough overtime round. Like you said, both guys are going to be compromised regardless.
This might be 2 straight full rides, though, for Harrison, which might give him the ride time advantage. We do not have the scores, the times in front of us. Beautiful readjustment by Harrison. And there's time. That's 2 full rides for Harrison. I would have to think he's going to win the ride time. That's it. He had 2 full ride times, so I think Harrison's going to get this. But here we go. And it is. Harrison was with the ride time win to upset defending champion Kevin Beering, and he will move on to our semifinals. What a performance. And coming right off of all that intense coaching, Nick Creighton's going to jump back in against Jake Strauss in our second quarterfinal. That was a battle. That may have been our fighter of the night. Incredible back and forth between 2 world-class grapplers. Kevin Beering, as always, comes to fight. But Harrison Wood shows world-class EBI game right there. So now we have Nick Creighton back on the mat against Jake Strauss. Both look real strong in their opening round. So here we go, about to get started. Jake had a much longer opening round match. Nick had a shorter, easier paced match. Both have had quite a bit of time to rest. Jake coming out, nice hand fighting. Nick sits right away, looking for some butterfly, looking to get a front head into the legs. The opening round, Jake showed some really nice defense against some upper body attacks and some chokes. Nick's a very, very well-rounded attack. He can attack upper body, back, very good leg locker as well. Nice sweep attempt right into a front headlock. Now Nick trying to set that arm up. He has a good angle. Jake doing a good job, rolling, coming through on top, and he uses it to reverse. Nick getting back to his guard, but Jake doing a good job trying to keep the legs away. Very nice little scramble from both guys. Slowed the game down just a little bit. Nick now into the closed guard. And again, we're seeing a lot of closed guard today. Game slowing down just a bit. And we saw a real patient game from Jake in the opening round. So he's not going to get the guy who's going to get opened up just for the sake of it. He's going to play his game at his pace. I have a feeling Nick's going to be the one to kind of push the pace in this match. Nick's starting to crawl those legs up, looking for a little bit more of a high guard action, looking for a little head and arm pinch. Jake now has the guard open. See his passing strategy. Nick has a tough guard to pass. Very good knee shield, very good open guard. Dangerous getting underneath for the legs. Nick heists up to get back to his feet. Nick with a nice shot. Uses it to
Double leg
expose.
from downtown.
Jake now looking for head and arm as Nick's trying to enter the legs.
Interesting scramble here.
Looks like Nick is going to get that leg exposure once he can clear that head control.
I don't think there's a name for this one yet.
Both guys being patient in their position. I think Nick's going to wind up being able to pull through and get that leg exposure that he's looking for. Jake doing a good job keeping that foot from coming over his hip and scrambling away. Very nice.
Good defense.
Jake has shown really good defense in both his fights. He just looks like a tough guy to get good positions on, and even when you get deep, he's able to pummel and get inside. Nick doing a really good job of being heavy in the head from the bottom and then using it to pull and hip high stop to come on top. I have a feeling we may see that again. And then if Jake pulls back to not allow that to happen, he's going to come underneath and try to go for the legs. Now Jake has a nice control of the head. Nick was looking to get into that nice, almost kind of guard, maybe Sami position, but Jake was wise, able to work back, but Nick's back to kind of more of a full guard. But now with not closed guard, feet inside, more of a butterfly situation. Better position to pass for Jake.
Pressure here from Jake, a really deep underhook. Decides to limp arm out, possibly feeling the threat of a mirror lock.
using that foot in the bicep control. That's halfway into this match. Nick now back to the close guard. Doing a really good job with these head and arm pinches from the bottom, using them to create some angles. We're going to reset to the center in the closed guard. This has been a very, very even match so far. No one really getting quite a bit ahead. Nick's starting to crawl the legs up a little higher, trying to get some head control. Here's some talking going from the bottom, from both guys, but I'm not really sure what they're saying. I think Jake is trying to get Nick's head a little bit. Nick is a very seasoned competitor, though. It's going to be tough to get in his head, I think. Yeah, always interesting to see the gamesmanship and how it comes out as we get deeper into this tournament.
I completely agree. Back to this kind of heavy hip sprawl passing position here from Jake on top. Nick shooting for that double leg again.
I think Jake's game plan of kind of making this a long, drawn-out match is starting to work for him. Starting to get Nick to open up a little bit.
Sure.
And again, it's a tiring strategy, but we have seen a few times over the years at Midwest finishers that guys just come out with really smart defensive strategies, kind of getting opponents tired in regulation and winning in overtime and winning tournaments that way. It can be a very, very hard thing to deal with if you have an opponent who strategically comes to plan into these long, kind of drawn-out fights, and you try to push a hard pace and then kind of get worn out as you attack. Because Jake looks very hard to get any kind of offense going on.
There's that head and arm pinch you had been talking about earlier. Doing a really good job with that. Control posture, create some opportunity.
To me, it seems like Nick's starting to look a little bit more frustrated, like he's trying to really open up. He wants something to happen, and Jake is just not giving him anything to work with. Now some muffling.
Jake's pressure seems like it would be tough to deal with, to say the least.
Yeah. I would be surprised to see Nick start crawling the legs up a little bit, that he has this open, this overhook. But I think Jake is just waiting for that so he can push him down.
It doesn't look like he's actively trying to open the guard.
No. Again, this is where when you're doing submission only, like he's not going to put himself in extra risk. Like he's trying to open the guard, but only in the ways that's going to be safe for him.
Sure.
If it's not safe, he's just going to hang out.
Play cool.
Nice foot sweep.
Aggressive foot sweep attempt. Nick catches himself before his butt hits the mat.
Jake now with the hands locked behind the head, pulling on Nick's back. This is a way to really wear an opponent down. Again, classic Wagner Rocha stuff here for the Wagner Rocha student, Jake Strauss. An aggressive hand fighting, pulling the neck. Nick pulling the 2-on-1. These guys are trying to win that war of attrition. Nick with a deep shot. Now he's caught in the head and arm position. Nick sits right back to his closed guard.
It was a much better setup, if you ask me, by Nick that time.
Honestly, I think that's what Jake wanted, though. I think you wanted him to shoot, to try to attack the arm, and even if he gets caught, he'd either go back to the closed or continue to go to his guard, make him use energy on those shots. I think the strategy, I think, is just to get him to overtime now and use it. Be confident that you can win these battles. Again, more muffles from the top. He's just trying to mess with Nick, it seems.
Clearly trying to get him tired, yeah.
And he's frustrated and trying to get him to open up and make a mistake. And that muffle is not going to submit a guy like Nick Creighton, but it does when you're tired 9.5 minutes in. It's hard to breathe.
Doesn't make your job any easier, that's for sure.
No one likes to get muffled, even if it's not, really messes you. No one enjoys it.
Nick aggressively trying to cut the angle here, trying to get the elbow across the center line in some way.
It's hard because if you don't want to open your guard because you're worried about giving up the pass or giving up an easy escape, it's hard to attack against a guy who's defensive like Jake is, who has solid fundamentals, keeping the head inside, keeping the arms inside. And with that, we're going to go to OT. So this will be an interesting battle. Jake looked really good in his OT in round 1. Nick, being a very experienced competitor, both through Midwest finishers and almost every rule set, he has a very well-balanced game. He's good in the So there are going to be some conjecture, I think, about where the hands should be in our starting spots. Both guys getting set. See what Nick can do. Nick gets the body triangle, but it's not particularly tight. It's not fully locked in. Now there's some pummeling for the hand.
Really aggressive chin strap.
Yeah, Nick wants to finish this. After some of the gamesmanship in that regulation, I know he's going to go hard and fast for these arms. Corner calling for the Thunderlock. Teammate Max Hansen, one of the best Thunderlocks around. Jake doing a good job scrambling, but he could not get the elbow free, and Nick stays behind. He needs to clear that right elbow. And Nick's able to recover and get to the back. Now with this kind of Kimura grip,
See if he opts to go back for the seatbelt.
he may be going for Thunderlock. With the body triangle, he can go for that Thunderlock.
You're right. It looks like he is definitely interested.
We're going to have to pull them back so there's not a lock. Resetting in the middle. With the cameramen, the refs. So this is a very, very interesting position. He's trying to pull that elbow behind the head. While doing it, he's using a ton of ride time. The hand is now cleared. He can try to force that through. I don't think he has the right angle currently to get that Thunderlock. He doesn't. He gives up position. Jake's trying to repummel, come back. But now Nick resets. Jake now
Right down the triangle.
Yeah, using those inside foot position. That allows Nick to get back to kind of a more traditional over-under seatbelt grip and start looking for the choke. Jake's doing a good job not letting him get under the chin. And now he's going to the arm bar.
Very, very aggressively.
And there's the escape. But still quite a long ride. But Jake doing a really great job escaping. Showing really, really tough to break through defense. They're going to get a good, solid seatbelt grip here. Again, they're fighting for their positions. They're going to make Nick straighten his back out. Nick trying to really create that scramble. But Jake doing a good job keeping it. Oh, this is going to be a tough position. He's got a short choke going on. He has a short choke, it's tight. And he gets the submission. Jake Strauss with the short choke from the back in the OT to move on to our semifinal to take on Harrison Woods. The strategy paid off for Jake. He's going to be a tough man to beat in this bracket.
Yeah, very impressive victory by Jake there at the end.
And now we're seeing Gavin Corby come back to the mat, and he will be taking on Jason Roberts. Jason with a very quick submission in his opening round. Gavin with a little bit of a back and forth match against Lucas Jones, both with footlock wins though. On paper, Gavin is definitely the favorite here. He's, again, maybe the favorite in the whole division. Jason is a younger up-and-comer, but again, showed explosive jiu-jitsu early on.
The next match, under 170-pound bracket, Gavin Corby versus Jason Roberts.
Gavin again in the black and blue, Jason in the brown rash guard.
Both these guys looking super impressive in their first matchup so far.
Yep.
So this ought to be a
And
really
these are
good
both
matchup.
guys who are kind of small for the division. Gavin competes at 80cc at 66 kilos. I believe Jason's a 66 kilo in the 80ccs as well. So both of those set small for 170s, but both look great in their opening rounds. Gavin again just letting an opponent get in on the single. Jason immediately tries to go into the legs. Now Gavin's trying to use some counter footlocks of his own. Again, if you've never seen Gavin compete before, he has some very, very high-level guard passing. He's really, really tough to sweep from the top unless he concedes. As I say that, Jason does a great job of getting him off balance, but Gavin's already on the leg. That's tight, and he gets the submission. Gavin Corby on to our semifinals with 2 fast matches. That puts him in a great position to get deep in this tournament. And Corby's shown why he is one of the best in the world.
Yeah, very impressive.
And our last matchup in this opening round is Jaden Groner against Kyle Perkins. Jaden had a quick footlock in his opening round. Kyle got a bye due to his opponent not being here. So we were going to see a really, really interesting matchup here. Kyle, kind of a seasoned veteran of Midwest Jiu-Jitsu, black belt from Real MMA, Real Deal MMA, against 10th Planet Lombard's own Jaden Groner. Jaden is the young up-and-coming superstar on the rise. Kyle's been around the game for a long, long time.
Next match is Kyle Perkins versus Jaden Groner.
Both these guys have really nice leg lock games. Unsurprisingly, Kyle sits. He's known for a leg lock open guard game. Jaden with some heavy pressure right away.
Looking for that knee on belly, looking for that round drag. Really aggressive right off the bat by Jaden.
Jaden's definitely the bigger guy, cutting weight to get to 170. Kyle's much more walking around near this weight. Nice inside pummel by Jaden, keeping heavy pressure. Nice deep underhook, getting to a nice passing position. Kyle again framing and keeping good space though. Looking to isolate that leg.
Jaden doing a really good job staying heavy on top here.
Pulling that head in as he's driving his hips into that knee shield, putting a lot of pressure into Kyle.
Jaden doing a really good job of making it really difficult for Kyle to get under the legs.
Yeah, keeping a frame on the hip and posting on that far side wrist. It's going to be very hard for Kyle to pummel inside. Kyle getting back to a more set butterfly. He's going to try to get underneath for an ashi, but Jaden does not let that happen.
He's got a good butterfly, a good frame, a good underhook here, but again, Jaden just heavy with that hip pressure.
Nice. Beautiful pummel into the mount. That pin on the shoulder really gave him that good option. And now look for maybe a mounted triangle or a gift wrap.
He had that gift wrap for a second. Looked like he opted to go for this kind of...
In the old days, we used to call this the stockade position. It's one you don't see a ton, but it's got some really, really strong pressure. And they generally use it for that triangle. Kyle was wise to it, though, and tried to get the elbow back in. Again, Kyle is a very experienced grappler. This is a tough position, though. Jaden can take the back, or he can do it. I think Jaden made a smart option to go back to control. He didn't love the angle he had. He knew against a guy like Kyle, he was going to be able to scramble away. So getting for the skip wrap, I think, is the better option. And he uses it to get the back exposure. There it is.
Deep body triangle as well.
And this is where being a bigger, stronger guy is going to really help. He can put a lot of pressure in on Kyle.
Switches the underhook on the bottom side for a little bit better control.
Nice, strong position for Jaden. Kyle does a good job clearing, but now he's in this Kimura position. This crucifix, and now he's going to bring the leg over the head to try to isolate that arm. And now you got the side Senkaku coming in. This could be the end right here.
It's the classic dilemma between the triangle and the Kimura.
This triangle is tight. He's going to use it to pry that arm out. Jane looks very calm. This is where he wants to be, not rushing anything. An arm might pop.
You get to pick your shot here.
Arm's gonna pop. Oh, good job by Kyle clearing the head. He still has his arm caught. Not free of attack. Jane right back to the back. Beautiful recovery. Yeah. Again, that's where some experience can pay off. Kyle's been in these positions. He didn't panic.
Jaden looking really, really strong and composed here. Really making some educated technical decisions here to keep control.
Jaden just keeps getting better and better. Again, he's a kid I've had the chance to grapple with a lot over the years, and just gets so much more technical, so much stronger month by month. Kyle being, again, someone I've had the chance to grapple with as well. He's a tough grappler. He's seasoned. He's hard to deal with, but that's just too much. Hey, Groner with the submission with the rear naked choke. And he will be fighting Gavin Corby in our semifinal, which is going to be a fun matchup.
Jeff stepping away from the booth for just a quick moment while we get ready for our next match here. Just about to get started with our next match here.
Our next match is a super fight between Michael Free and Bishop Slava.
Next match will be between Michael Free, the Magic BJJ, and Bishop
Slava, I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly, from Alexander BJJ. Very aggressive guard play. Potential arm drag attempt here to take the back, but he was able to recover his elbow very nicely. Rolls under for the leg. Really chaining his attacks beautifully together here. Trying to get that foot exposed. Staying really heavy on that knee, making it tough. Very deep body lock position here from the top passing position. Beautiful double leg attempt here. Really get the drive.
Kimura counter.
Very nice Kimura counter.
The arm's extended.
See if he's able to get the finish or use it to take the back. Once he clears that foot, it's a big difference there. There he is.
Armbar's in.
Going for the arm bar as opposed to taking the back. Very nice transition. Very smooth.
Mikkel has a tight arm lock, and that, the arm is extended.
He's trying to go for the hitchhiker.
He's going to bend it over the hip. And he submits.
He gets the arm lock. Beautiful Kimura defense to use that to take the back.
Very nice.
And then ultimately use it.
Mikkel gets the fight. But Bishop did take this on short notice, so showed great heart just jumping in there against a tough, big opponent.
Nothing but impressive competition so far today.
Another super fight on our way.
Our next match is a super fight between Zach Richmond and Tamim Saeed.
If you didn't hear that one, the next match is going to be between Zach Richmond and Tamim Saeed. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Zach from Queen City Grappling, Tamim from 10th Planet, Grand Rapids, and Las Vegas. Looking for one of our competitors. I think we're actually going to get James Hackett against Justin Coggins. James Hackett of American Top Team, Indianapolis. Justin of Apex, House of Grappling.
Next match is a super fight.
Just getting our mat set up.
Like a professional.
Our next match is actually James Hackett versus Justin Coggins.
James is in the black and red. Justin is in the purple.
Nice. Arm
Nice.
drag attempt right off the bat.
Justin coming from Apex, you know he can wrestle. Apex produces a lot of great heavy wrestling pressure. Coach Nick Spacek, a tough black belt who has great wrestling background. Justin now showing some heavy pressure.
Really, really deep body lock position here. Where he's got his hands confidently connected.
Against a body lock like this, you want to get framed under the neck. You need to start lifting the head and chin to create space, where you're going to get passed like that. Justin was just a quick, heavy pass.
Justin looking
And now he
really
still
strong.
has that tight waist, which is going to make it hard for James to recover. He's either going to have to expose his back or he's going to have to just kind of eat this pressure.
James has good frames. Let's see if he's able to use this to recover or create potential opportunity for himself here.
Justin's going north-south. It's going to be tight. He needs to turn James' face away. It's turned away now. He's just going to slowly sprawl those hips back. James needs to turn inside. He's able to.
It's like Marcelo competes once and everybody starts going for that arm in north-south.
Yeah. It is a not fun spot to be in because even if you're not getting choked, it's very hard to move. There's a lot of pressure on the head and chin.
Sure.
Really good attack and nogi, especially early when you're dry to get a good bite. Reset in the center. We'll see if James can get a little of his game going now that he's created a little space.
It's 2 minutes down into our first reset of this match here. Justin doesn't really seem to be slowing down at all, really keeping this high intensity. Back to that strong body lock position again.
Against a tough kind of wrestling pressure from the top like that, those butterfly hooks can be challenging because if you don't get an upper body connection, it's kind of easy to jump over the top just like Justin did. especially against a good body locker like Justin clearly is. Again, that tight waist is such an annoying tool. It's great for control. It's great to set up your attacks once you pass and to prevent those scrambles, especially in no gi where you don't have the same kind of connection you do in a gi. Now, Justin, let's go to the tight waist now that he has a far side control. I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to lift that elbow up and create a head and arm control to pop over and look. James is doing a good job framing those, keeping his arms in. Justin now forcing a knee on belly.
Right to the mount, but James is able to trap that ankle.
With the far side underhook, the half guard is not really that strong for James here. Justin's going to probably be able to pummel through and still get the pass. He may opt to switch to a knee cut with that underhook, or he may try to crawl the mount. There's more of a risk for a deep half guard sweep if you're trying to crawl the mount.
He might opt to take the back here, it looks like.
Now we have a quarter guard, but we have the gift wrap, kind of a very old school gift wrap to try to take the back off the quarter guard.
He gets hands,
There it is.
once he gets his hands connected right to that back take. He's trying to trap the arm. James doing a really good job of making sure that that does not happen.
The hooks are not in, but good control from Justin. He's going to probably get the back if he even opts to put hooks in. Now he's both hooks in. Now he's going to start looking for that rear naked choke.
Good traditional seatbelt, both hooks, good chest to back. Let's see what Justin can do with this here.
That might be it. It looks tight.
I think his hands are connected here. It's hard to see. I think he might have a good fulcrum choke opportunity here.
He's in no rush. He's keeping heavy pressure on him, stretching James out. But James does a good job recovering, not letting that submission get set. He has been on the back foot kind of the whole match. He's defending well, but he's been defending. And now Justin again, pummeling those arms, going side to side, recovering the back.
Really good, doing a good job with the interplay of using the bottom hook and the top side butterfly.
One hook in, now both hooks in.
Does a good job of keeping his weight in the right spot. Good off balance to make sure that he takes the back.
He may have to come up for an arm triangle. James doing a really good job defending, not letting him get that neck fully exposed.
He's defending the hooks really, really well too.
Good hand fight again by James to clear the neck threat. Now Justin
A
climbing.
potential arm trap. Got his elbow or his heel on the inside of that elbow really well.
Again, looking for that kind of face crank short choke again, it looks like. James again is able to hand fight through. Very nice ride by Justin. It's not giving James any space or movement to try to get back and face him. And again, goes immediately to the kind of that belly down back ride position. That power half.
Love the power half.
Right into it. Beautiful. Again, let's see, he's going for the choke again. James again defending well.
Yeah, as good as James' defense here so far, this match has just been all Justin. He's been
Yeah,
doing a really
James
good
needs to
job.
go hard to his left right now to try to start finding an angle to get back on top and face him, at least to recover the guard. Exposing his back that way is a little tough because that allows Justin to come right back up into that kind of side mount position. Again, better than a full back, but it's not a position where you can really mount any offense. You're going to reset and center in the same spot.
You can tell the pressure of Justin's starting to get to James a little bit here.
Sometimes you do think, though, as a top player, are you getting frustrated that your attacks aren't working? Are you going to try to open up more than you have? Sure. Maybe giving your opponent the best chance to actually escape. Justin does not seem to be doing that yet. He seems calm and collected. Seems in kind of like a real strong control position, but he has thrown a lot of attacks up, and James has done a good job. Now, he has the leg over the shoulder now.
This is the third time he's been able to get this back exposure in this match alone, so we'll see if he's able to make any adjustments that could help him secure his position even better, potentially threaten submission.
If I'm Justin, I might start thinking again, more for something like a head and arm, using the back to get up to a head and arm position. Something that gives you a little bit more control to use your hips. Again, he's been going for these shots. There's the head and arm. Again, I might jump over that and try to force it. Almost looking for a crucifix entry off that head and arm.
Really interesting and consistent chain here for Justin. He's doing a really good job at constantly mixing things up.
Again, he's going for that short choke again. This is a better position. He now has the head position to put some pressure into James's neck. He may get the tap here.
This is a much better angle than he was in before, but again,
James is just not giving him anything. He's making him work. He's defending. Just saw Justin shake his arms out there. He put a good squeeze on it. And those arms are getting tired from all that pummeling, all that attacking. Now he's going for an Americana. Something we do not see quite often from here. Now he might go for a mounted triangle if he's trying to pin that arm. Again, short choke again coming.
I mean, if he's starting to feel that, you know, a little bit of a lactic acid buildup in his arms, maybe the triangular, another option might be.
Yeah, Nego's arm bar.
Wow, look at this.
That's a nice tight arm bar.
Throws the leg over, he gets his feet in between the arms. This is a really strong position here.
Now he's going for a triangle.
Creating that dilemma.
James doing a good job trying to keep his head heavy. Even though he's got the triangle locked now, he doesn't have the lift. A short time left in this match, so let's see if Justin goes all out to get the sub before we get to overtime. Starting to climb into that arm crush. Arm push free. James does a good job coming out with his shot.
Defense by James.
Wow, good escape. And for the first time, James is on top, but he does not have much time to work.
Let's see what he's able to do with it.
I'd imagine he's going to sit back for a foot. There's not much else he can really do here unless he just wants to stay on top and catch his breath before OT.
He's got less than 10 seconds left to work.
Well, you're going to head to overtime.
Some good energy by both the competitors here. And with that being said, we go into our next overtime round. Excuse me, I should say our first overtime round of this match.
So Justin chose to go on defense first. So James is going to go to the back. We haven't got to see any of James' offense this fight, so we'll see what he has. And sometimes being the defensive player while you're using a lot of energy, you're not using like the arm burn the way you are as the offensive player. So I'll be interested to see how this fight changes.
Yeah, we'll see if
Justin already has a good angle. He's already starting to get his back through already. It's kind of a weak offside body triangle. But that was a quick escape. Again, not that the guys in this Superfight are lower level, but they're not at the elite level of some of the guys in the high level competitors in our tournament. You can see how the back strategy changes. There's nowhere near the same fight for hand position. We're not seeing these super quick body triangles and this pummeling. It's a lot more you're playing the back like you would in class from a more normal position. And again, it's an interesting contrast when you watch guys like Kevin Beering and Harrison Woods just come to here. And there it was. Yeah. And there's a submission for Justin. He controlled the whole regulation, then he gets the submission in the first OT round. Nice performance, nice control. Justin Coggins with a dominant victory.
very strong performance by Justin there.
We're trying to mop up all the sweat on the mats before we get our next competitors out there.
Oh, it looks like he's having a little too much fun mopping the mats out there.
Now we're back onto the Zach Richmond, Tamim Saeed fight.
Our next match is a super fight between Zach Richmond and Tamim Saeed.
Tamim in the purple, Zach in the black. Zach again of Queen City Grappling, Tamim of 10th Planet Grand Rapids and Las Vegas.
Really aggressive right off the bat from both guys.
Quick movement. Very nice 2-on-1 for Tamim, trying to get it underneath Zach.
Yeah, really consistent with that 2-on-1 off balance there. Zach looks to be pretty content passing here. He's looking for that route drag quite a bit.
He's got that nice deep underhook of the leg with his right arm, keeping his right knee and elbow together, trying to keep some of his hips away, making it harder for him to try to invert underneath.
Had his good passing position there for a second while Tamim tried to do a little bit of a high leg. He's able to recover very, very well. Playing this half guard knee shield, kind of reversed in the heated position.
Tamim now has a good heel control. That's going to create a much better chance to off balance and create an outside attack that he can then pummel back on the inside. Zach's able to get that heel free and get back to a better position. Nice change of direction there from Zach.
Look at that split squat with that route drag again.
Tamim in on the leg though, uses that energy to get inside on the leg.
Zach losing the knee line.
Yeah, he's lost the knee line. Now Zach's going to counterattack. And Tamim's going to counterattack that. Both.
Got ourselves a little bit of a Mexican standoff here.
Dueling. And there's a submission.
Beautiful submission there.
I don't think Tamim knew that Zach tapped, that they were still going. But Zach, being a good sport, did not try to keep fighting.
Sure. Good fight by both competitors.
Very fun little
Aggressive
scratch. Yeah. Short match, but again, lots of action in that 90 seconds or 2 minutes or so that match went.
Big sign of relief from Tamim there.
Yeah. So with that, we are going to be heading back into our men's bracket for our 2 semifinals. On one side, we have Harrison Woods taking on Jake Strauss in our first semifinal, and we have Gavin Corby against Jaden Groner in our second. Interesting, on both guys in our first side of the bracket, Jake and Harrison have had some really long, drawn-out matches where Jaden and Gavin have had kind of short, quick matches. So whoever gets through this bracket on this side is going to be really earning their way into the finals with a lot of mat time and a lot of battle.
The next match is the first semifinal match in a men's 170-pound bracket between Harrison Woods and Jake Strauss.
These are two really tough grapplers who've shown really well-rounded games, hard to deal with. Jake definitely seems to have this interesting kind of tough to deal with strategy. We'll see if Harrison's able to kind of pull through in a way his first opponents were not.
Pretty relaxed stand up for both competitors so far.
Harrison kind of lunges for that shot. I think almost trying to get a reaction more than really going for the takedown.
A little expression out of Jake there. A little respect.
And Jake has shown some interesting strategy trying to get his opponent's heads earlier in this tournament. I would not be surprised to see if this match extends past a few minutes, if you start seeing more talking coming from Jake and really trying to get in Harrison's head as well. Nice upper body kick.
Beautiful takedown.
Jake with a really good job countering that and getting it in a top position. And this is a position he's deployed quite a bit. He's very hard to attack from here. He's very hard to create angles on. Kind of frustrates opponents. So I'm interested to see if Harrison opts to play from the close or if he tries to open and create position.
Sure.
Because if we watched his last match against Nick Creighton, Jake just kind of shut Nick's offense down from here. Did not allow Nick to do a lot of work. And that's when he started talking, muffling him, getting into his head. So expect the same. And Jake's head's low, handstand inside. He pummels back in. As I say that, Harrison does a great job creating that angle of attack. Nice foot sweep attempt. Another foot sweep attempt. Violent foot sweeps. Harrison looking for that snap down. Nice shot in there by Harrison. Jake's in on the neck. This is tight.
Guillotine attempt here.
Harrison able to
defense.
pull his head out. Confident.
Harrison able to hit that double leg from a little bit more downtown.
Now
Nice.
switch the position we saw earlier. Harrison's the one on top. Now in Jake's closed guard.
Get an opportunity to see what Jake's guard looks like here.
Harrison
Kind of in it.
knee cut position, floating over, going side to side, side smash back to knee cut. It's a beautiful switch.
Harrison really heavy with that crossface right off the bat, making Jake, I'm sure, very uncomfortable in this position.
And now he cleared that inside elbow, which is a huge thing. Makes it much harder for him to escape. You can put a lot more pressure in extended. Looking for the forearm. Jake does a good job of trying to turn and face, getting that inside hook in. Back exposure by Harrison, but Jake reframes, comes back to set. Jake's able to wedge a knee back in, not fully back to the half guard. Harrison just walks to the north-south. Just doing a really nice job moving side to side, keeping away from Jake's guard.
Potential north-south opportunity here. North-south choke. Ooh, nice recovery.
Jake pops those hips back to get to closed guard, or to a full guard, I should say.
Good blend from a hip switch right to that knee cut. Very nicely done.
Harrison's passing's looking very strong. At the same time, I think Jake is not particularly trying to hold him in guard.
Sure.
I think he's, again, being very smart in his defensive strategy and where he's using energy. I don't think he's really trying to attack much from the guard because he feels Harrison's passing's in a good spot. He's almost conceding to, like, stay safe, get to a side control where he's not feeling that threatened. Again, the strategy watching Jake in earlier matches, I wouldn't be surprised if his goal is just to make Harrison use a lot of energy and, again, get to the OT. Unless he can find an opening.
There he is again, a good blend of the hip switch right into the knee cut. He's able to use that hip switch to beat the knee shield. It's a very...
Now, with this head and arm position, he almost had there. Harrison's corners said the same thing we've been saying. I think he's just letting him pass to let him use energy. Jake's using just enough to stay safe, just enough to not be in a submission. Harrison has to be smart and not giving him too much energy. We're halfway through.
Tried to ops to the mount, potentially might lose the position here.
And that's really like when Jake almost gets in a really bad position where he uses that energy and not, and he kind of gets back to his comfort. Now here's jumping out ahead. This is a different position now. And Jake's able to get back to that guard.
It's the third time now we come back to that headquarters, backstep, knee cut. Harrison's knee cut and his passing's looking really
He looks so smooth in that top position. Harrison again, just a nice side control. But again, not a lot you can do if Harrison can't get the arms away or get hit the head and arm control. Jake doing a really good job of knowing where to be safe and when to be safe. And I think he's trying to frustrate Harrison, give him a little daylight, and then he tries to force something and he escapes out.
So Jeff, you had mentioned earlier about how Jake was most likely trying to approach a little bit of a tougher game, trying to wear his opponents out, maybe trying to take an OT. In a scenario where he's not able to apply that pressure, what kind of strategy do you think might be a more successful option for him there?
I don't know. I just think he's doing the same thing. I think he's just literally basically hoping his opponents make mistakes and creating openings. If not, he just wants to get to overtime. He's confident in his overtime.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable with his defense here.
Yeah, he just knows if he doesn't overextend himself, it's going to be hard to submit him.
Sure.
And he hopes his opponent gets frustrated and wants to force things. Again, it's
defending the pass a little bit more this time.
Yeah. And I think that this kind of strategy sometimes is it's a way to game the system a little bit. Like, not that it doesn't take skill to defend and escape, but I think he's really smart in that he wants to make sure he pull guys into the game. He wants to play and win or lose. He's going to decide that.
Sure.
We've had a few really, really tough competitors over the years. Finishers do the same. Sam Barbosa comes to mind, winning a bracket with some of the elite world-class talent by just forcing them into overtime and being better in overtime.
Sure.
See, that perfect example. Jake didn't use a lot of energy, and then when he almost got mounted, then he used an explosive movement to get out, and then he gets comfortable back here. Just a very, very kind of deliberate use of energy, deliberate use of his offense and his defense. Even here, he's wedging his right arm in, so Harrison really can't threaten the darce fully because his hands are locked. Harrison's going to kind of try to force it a little bit.
He's still committing, yeah.
Again, that's what I think Jake wants. He wants Harrison to force some attacks, use his energy to try to end the regulation, so that when we get to overtime, he has more in the tank.
Looks like we're going to do a reset to the center.
Sometimes as that top athlete, gets in your head because if your opponent's not giving you that energy back, and you're dominating the fight, but you're knowing that it's like you're not winning on points, you can't win by points. It's like
It's going to break your confidence a little.
Yeah, it makes you think like, what should I do here? Because I don't want to sell out and then get tired, but then how else am I going to win this fight? So you can play kind of mental tricks on your opponent.
Yeah, Harrison's still looking really composed with his overall demeanor after the amount of control that he's putting in this match. There we go. Big explosion from Jake, a nice knee to the face. That didn't look too nice.
The interesting thing about this match will be Harrison's back control was so good. His back escapes look so good against Kevin that pulling him into overtime may not be the best situation.
That's a very good point.
I mean, if that's your game plan going in, you're going to kind of have to stick with it. But Harrison showed world-class EBI movement in that last round. Again, Kevin is a phenomenal EBI player, and he was able to win that exchange, both escaping and attacking. So now a little smother option here. This is a good way to kind of reverse the energy system. Because even if you don't get the smother, this makes it hard for Jake to breathe. Sure. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah, Harrison was able to get to good side control in the belly earlier, but he wasn't able to secure a good mount position. This is going to be...
We have 1 minute left in our regulation. So again, this comes down to this situation. Does Harrison want to use a lot of energy trying to finish Jake, or does he want to kind of coast and get ready for an OT? Looks like he wants to finish, which I don't think is a bad idea. But again, that energy expenditure late in a match when you're going to go into an overtime with no break can be a very, very dangerous game.
Sure.
With 30 seconds left, I would probably just, as I say it, he creates that exposure. Jake, again, strong defense.
But he gets a little bit deeper on the mount, it seems.
I think this is a smart strategy. Now just kind of cook him here for the last 15, 20 seconds of the match. Make him carry your weight, put a little smother pressure in, mess with his elbows.
100%.
There's a smother.
There it is. Nice grapevine.
Jake just hanging out, waiting for the time to go. And there it is. We're going to OT. This is a real war of attrition. Every match with Jake is just that. He's going to make you earn any win or any position.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this OT goes now.
Yeah, like I said, Harrison's OTs looked incredible, but Jake is as well. And or near the conjecture on whose hands are where.
Yeah, a little bit more of a mutual agreement in this one.
Yeah. And that shows you some confidence in Jake that he's just willing to let the hands be there as long as he gets his base defense. That shows somebody who really believes in his back defense.
Sure.
Man, Harrison has such a good back control, and he really knows this game.
His ability to continue rotating when his opponent initiates that rotation is really, really clean.
Yeah.
Keeping that chest to back really, really tight.
He has a really nice, like, long legs for that body triangle. He stays with it. He gets his body going the same direction. He doesn't get out of alignment when his opponents roll.
He's getting a little off center here.
And Jake's able to get the leg in the middle as opposed to the outside of the hip, which gives him a better chance. But Harrison fixes it.
They switch over to the bottom side of the lock now, or excuse me, the lock being on the bottom side of the hip. It'll be a little bit easier for Jake to potentially disrupt the body triangle. He doesn't look to be actively trying to disrupt the body triangle right now. He looks to be just big rotation opportunity here.
Controlling the head. He's trying to pull Harrison through. But again, Harrison is so good from the back.
So impressive with him being able to keep that chest to back connection.
Yeah, and that's
constant readjustment.
And that's where we said pulling Harrison into this overtime is not necessarily the best strategy because Harrison's looked, his overtime, both offense and defense, has looked rock solid. That was the closest Harrison got to anything. Jake just keeping that elbow up, almost asking for you to attack it so that he can try to explode out as you do.
Sure. Harrison's corner advocating for the submission with about a little bit over 30 seconds left here.
Yeah, with not much time left, it doesn't hurt because even if you wind up losing, you almost have a full ride at this point. And there's the full 2-minute ride. So let's see what Jake has on his offense against Harrison's defense. And Jake has been able to pull out these wins in OT, but now after giving up a full ride, and Harrison showing such high-level defense, this will be a very...
Yeah, very, very good start for Harrison there.
Jake gets the body triangle right away. Looking for that short choke again. Harrison defends well. And Harrison's almost out. He gets out.
Very, very good job by Harrison there. Jake had an incredibly tight body triangle.
I think he might have popped his ankle. I did not see what happened there.
Yeah, he had a super, super tight body triangle. My first initial guess is that he potentially injured his ankle with the pressure of the body triangle escape.
Yeah. Must be. Usually, like, I usually see that affecting your opponent's knee more than ankle.
Sure.
Either way.
Let's hope he's okay here.
Yeah, knowing the toughness Jake has showed, I don't think that's going to stop him. So a big ride time advantage after one OT for Harrison. So he can probably feel confident that he can open up a little bit more in this OT, knowing that he probably has at least a minute ride time advantage, a minute plus ride time advantage in that first OT.
Harrison gets right to that nice tight body triangle again. It's probably going to be a little bit more difficult for Jake to be able to bridge and use his hips a lot more if his ankle's caught.
Yeah, if his ankle is really compromised, yeah. Nice thing as a competitor is if it's not in your head, a lot of times you're not going to feel it as mad as you will 2 hours from now or next morning.
Sure. You can tell he's not planning it on the ground right now.
No.
We're about 40 seconds into overtime. We're in overtime here for this round.
Maybe you'll see him opt to go for an armbar or something else as he, again, was winning the ride time battle.
A lot of respect to Jake here while continuing after a potential injury here. Harrison looking really good with his back control still.
Yeah, with Jake seeming a little bit compromised, I don't know if he's going to have an ability to escape this position. He's going to obviously have his ability to be able to defend with his upper body as we've seen all day, but without being able to create, push from your foot, it's going to be much harder to finish an escape from here.
Still doing a really good job with rotating to make sure that he
Yep.
negates the choke, but is still having a tough time getting back to the map. Looks like they're going to reset him back in the center here.
Yeah, before they hit the wall. Good job by the ref not having to use the wall as a tool. Luckily, they're very sweaty, so they're sliding across the mat.
Create a little snail trail across the mat.
So not much time left in this ride. Again, at this point, it's going to come down to can Jake submit Harrison? Because with 2 full ride times, not even near a full ride time, Jake almost has to. I would think he has to go armbar here.
Yeah, let's see if he opts to. That'll be very interesting.
Because also the body triangle probably will be compromised with his foot. If his foot is really injured, it's going to be hard for him to play that.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy about it.
And he does. Not surprised here. Both for the ankle and due to the time. This makes a lot of sense for Jake. We have not seen Harrison in the spiderweb. We saw his back. We know his back's great.
Sure.
So I'm assuming he's very well prepared. But again, sometimes this can be kind of a chink in competitor's armor. Is Jake going to get it?
Wow. It looks like it's fully extended. It's
Oh, that was
good
close.
defense from Harrison.
But now the time is just, If I were Harrison, I might try armbar here. There's nothing to lose. Maybe use less energy.
Sure.
Jake's foot is clearly bothering him. He might have broke that foot. I think he's going to go armbar. He is. So I think a smart choice. His back defenses look too good.
Harrison's corner advocating for going for the submission and being up on the right.
And even the foot here, it's going to be harder for Jake to arch up and come off the floor and create a base and stand up to get his arm out. So I think this is a smarter strategy.
He seems a little bit more comfortable putting some weight on it, but yeah, like you said, he's not going to be very explosive with it.
Not the way he was earlier in the day. Harrison may have it here. And he gets it. So Jake will have a chance. But he's going to have to get a quick submission, so here it's going to be an armbar. It's going to be the spider web with about 10 seconds left. Five seconds, so he has to basically 7 seconds. 17? Okay. 17 seconds, not 5.
Either way, still a
Either
very
short time.
amount of time.
Yes. It's going to be a quick, explosive movement. He's either going to get the sub or he's going to get the escape. Jake's got to go. He's going to go with that bicep slice arm crush. He's pulling. Time is getting short already. I don't think he's going to have time.
Jake really fighting for it here. He's really putting his foot on the gas.
And there's the time.
Harrison
Wood will be moving on to our finals with his submission in the OT. What a battle by Jake Strauss.
Truly.
Hopefully his foot is not too seriously injured. Harrison will now move on to the finals where he's going to fight the winner of our next match, Gavin Corby against Jaden Groner. Both have had really, really beautiful performances with submissions and regulation in both matches. There's going to be a considerable size difference in this matchup. Jaden is a big 170 to cut, or Gavin is somebody who can fight out 66 kilos. But there is also a big experience gap as Gavin is a world-class black belt and Jaden is still a purple belt. But again, belts really don't matter when you get to a high level and in no-gi especially. Gavin in the black and blue, Jaden in the purple and black.
Gavin Corby versus Jaden Groner.
I'm very much looking forward to this match.
Gavin has looked just so smooth in both his matches with just beautiful jiu-jitsu, as has Jaden, both with really, really nice submissions in both regulation times. The winner of this matchup will fight Harrison Woods in our final for the big chain and $2,500. As you can see, there is a big size difference here.
All right, here we go.
Gavin has basically let his opponents kind of wrestle with him and get into his control points.
Yeah, you
This
can
time
tell
he's beautiful inside trip. Gavin has, again, world-class passing. Very good at controlling ankles, controlling distance. Jaden has looked really good with his leg locks, both today and a lot of his recent competitions. So I know he's trying to get in on Gavin's legs, which is a much easier said thing, done thing than said.
Keep that foot off you.
Really nice headquarters position that Gavin's entered in here.
A very nice low base, keeping those feet cleared. Very, very just professional guard passing right there.
Keep them on one side. I want to get both legs.
Nice,
Keep it cross.
beautiful switch by Gavin, almost getting that inside heel hook.
Right back to work.
And that's like one of those attacks, even though he can get it, it's going to make Jaden think about extending his legs to push against Gavin as he passes.
Keep it
And
cross.
he goes, look, and same thing. He's going to cross Hashi. Now Jaden backing in his own leg. He's on the far side. This is a good bite for him.
He gets a nod of approval from Gavin.
This is, again, a little bit of a leg lock shootout. Jaden has that leg, but his ankle is still also in a compromised position.
Feet to the middle. Stay close to
Looks like Gavin's willing to just eat that for a potential bite on the.
It's hard to see from our angle where the foot position is. Gavin now in on his own.
Jaden looks like he's got a really, really good bite, but just struggling to control the knee line.
Beautiful. Now back to
Nice
the
done
feet.
from Gavin. Keeping it
Jaden
super
sits.
flowy.
right to his back. Feet out of the middle.
I'm interested to see if this time Gavin wants to sit back or he's not going to try to actually pass. He was using the passing to set up the legs, but after that exchange, it'll be interesting if he stays with it or tries to avoid the legs with Jaden now. Because Jaden had a really nice bite in that site and it really made Gavin go to the defensive.
Sure.
As I said, he steps right through, but he exposes his back.
Both legs, both legs, both legs. Good. Keep the knee.
Beautiful entry.
Good. Keep your hips pointed at that knee. Or keep facing
Now
the
against
center
with a
leg.
bigger opponent like Jaden, he might be able to try to pull through.
sure.
Gavin has a really nice angle on this.
Good. Waist stay connected to both. Keep the top. Keep the top. Keep your hips out of this.
Looks like the knee line is free.
Feet to the inside, yeah.
Good job by Jaden defending that.
Yeah, I thought that Jaden was going to have the size difference to be able to jump up onto his back a little bit easier, but
Get your feet covered in the middle.
Gavin on the straight foot. That's tight, and he gets it. Beautiful entry by Gavin. He gets the submission.
very impressive jiu-jitsu by both gentlemen here.
Gavin was his third submission in regulation of the day. He will now be moving on to face Harrison Woods in our finals. Gavin Corby looking really, really smooth all day. Jaden with a great performance. Again, losing to a world-class opponent in the semifinals, never going to hurt. Now we're going to give our two finals competitors a little break. We're going to have two super fights here before we jump into the finals of the match.
Yeah, like Jeff said, Jaden's definitely going to be, he's going to be a superstar in the sport.
You're going to hear from him again. You'll see him a lot. He has a bright, bright future. Now, our first super fight, I believe, is going to be Luis Diaz against Ryan Sample. So, Luis against Flow Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu against Ryan Sample of Rufus Sport.
Super fight between Luis Diaz and Ryan Sample.
We got some bigger boys coming out. Heavyweights coming up to the mat. Ryan's going to be in the green rash guard. Luis is going to be in the black rash guard.
Ryan's got his biggest supporter in the corner.
Luis scrambles in. Ryan sits underneath, working his way back up.
I absolutely love it. His son's cheering him on. Best cornerman you could probably ask for.
Ryan's son, who looks about 5 years old in his corner, almost got trampled by his dad and his opponent. Omar Castillo, the owner of 10th Planet Lombard, is going to go protect the son. Ryan's a very active competitor. You see him compete all the time in the Chicagoland area. Pro shows, local tournaments, anything he can compete on.
Big snap down attempt by Ryan there.
Ryan doing a good job using his height advantage, getting Luis down, putting on his head, weighing on the head. Luis able to kind of throw by. Ryan spins through. Nice, very nice entry to the legs by Luis.
That's a deep heel hook.
I don't know if the knee line is there.
Good defense by Ryan to rotate the leg in the proper direction there.
Good movement by a big guy like Luis too.
Agreed.
Smooth entry.
Yeah, I honestly didn't see that coming. Didn't expect that for a second.
And nice submission by Luis with a heel hook off a scramble. Very nice entry by Luis.
Good fight. Always nice to be able to see some technical guys when they're a little bit bigger like that too. Like you said, that was a very, very fluid movement by both guys.
We have one more super fight. We have Joseph Alexander Jr. from Adamas and Alexander Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu against Lucas Pasowick from 10th Planet Chicago. Joseph is a big-time active competitor, competing all over the place. Now training with Dante Leon, Max Hansen, Nick Creighton, and the crew at Adamas.
These 155ers?
I know Joseph, I think it's a 155-pound match. I know Joe usually fights a little bit lower. He was fighting up to get a good matchup here. I'm not as familiar with Lucas, but coming from 10th Planet Chicago, you know, he'll be well prepared. Joseph is known for having some good leg locks, diving on submissions, so I would expect to see some quick options from him. Immediately he sits down. I'm expecting him to shoot. That armbar is in. He may already have it.
Deep armbar, deep armbar.
And he gets the submission. As I said, quick submissions for Joe. He gets about a 10-second submission. He loves to throw up those quick subs, and he gets it.
Very, very impressive armbar.
And that's going to take us to our finals of our bracket. Gavin Corby, Harrison Woods fighting for $2,500 and the big gold chain. On paper, Gavin obviously has had a much smoother path to the finals with 3 submissions. Harrison's had a couple hard battles in overtime to get here. So on energy level alone, Gavin would have to be the favorite, not to mention his credentials. We're going to go break. Okay, we're going to give a couple-minute break so that Harrison can get a little bit of rest after we had 2 incredibly quick submissions in those super fights. And we're back. We are just about ready for our men's 170-pound final. We have Gavin Corby against Harrison Woods.
The 170-pound bracket championship between Harrison Woods and Gavin Corby.
The big chain and the $2,500 on the line. Gavin in the black and light blue. Harrison in the black and darker blue. Harrison has had a battle to get here. Gavin has made quick work of the vast majority of his opponents' 3 submissions. Harrison with some shoulder pops. Gavin is so comfortable in stand-up, kind of using his opponent's energy against them to get into the positions he wants. Harrison has been able to kind of control a lot of his matches with his wrestling, so. Nice single leg attempt. Just like in Gavin's last matchup, you can see a clear size difference between the two. Again, that has not affected Gavin in the least so far. Gavin already in on the leg. He's a nice Aoki.
Back and both legs. Good. Take him to his hands or a knee before we start the tag. Try to get that foot off.
Harrison stood some really nice leg lock defense against Kevin Beering earlier.
Both legs. Good. Keep going a second.
I like that inside right leg position of Gavin for both leg entanglements as well as back kick takes.
Beautiful high steps. Gavin doing a really good job of
It's
creating
the leg isolated.
leg threat.
But Harrison doing a good job keeping way forward. Here comes that Aoki again, it looks like. Harrison able to get the foot back to the floor. Gavin doing a great job of getting that nice lift of the leg to get Harrison's leg off the floor, to give him that ability to look for the Aoki and the straight footlock belly down, just like this. But Harrison doing a good job trying to pull his leg out. Now he goes to counter leg lock. There's a nice tight straight footlock grip from Harrison. He doesn't have a great hip control yet. Gavin has better hip control here. Gavin now digging for his own heel hook. They're going to reset in the center. They're going to try to drag him. It's going to be hard with his hand position. Good work by the refs and the crew. I'd rather be in Gavin's position here. He has a better option for actually finishing this attack.
And he just doesn't really seem to be too phased by that deep ankle lock grip on the potential belly down here.
Gavin's starting to get a better angle on that heel, but Harrison's able to pull it out. And the legs are trapped. This is, again, good position for Gavin.
Good. Take your time. Make everything certain.
We saw him do this earlier, getting both legs and creating that nice exposure.
Nice work, Gavin. Keep the feet across.
Yeah, this is a really, really opportunistic moment for Gavin here.
Do not come off the floor.
He has plenty of time. He does not have to rush this.
Keep your hips close. Find the toes.
Let's see what Harrison can do here. He clears the first leg, but now the back, the hose.
He's looking for
He
the inside heel
reconnects.
hook.
Good job. Harrison are able to reconnect those feet and get back to a 50-50.
He accepts the 50-50. It looks like he's going to try to go for his own.
Very nice defense by Harrison. That was a very precarious position. He was able to get back to a much more neutral spot. That's where that level of experience comes through. Gavin is definitely controlling this matchup, keeping Harrison on the back foot and defending as opposed to attacking.
Same thing, Gavin. Very good. You got time. You got time. Fight your feet to the middle with the feet uncovered.
Gavin doing a good job bringing it across.
Nice. Stay close to the hips.
Nice bite. Harrison now with his own counter footlock.
It's a really, really
This is a
interesting
shootout
back
right
and
here.
forth with the leg entanglements.
Again, Gavin has a better hip position there. Harrison gives up to come up.
Both legs. Use your
Trying to
knee.
get that two-leg connection again.
Nice.
Now a little bit of a double outside Ashi.
Applause there. Yes.
Nice
Really,
exposure
really
here.
impressive leg entanglement from Gavin.
Harrison bringing his head back inside almost into a triangle position. Using it to separate Gavin's hit legs.
He's in front, Gavin.
So there's been some really nice leg lock attack from Gavin, a really nice defense from Harrison. Harrison again going for his own counters, but not really getting the deep knee line.
You know, a really interesting detail that I remember you talking about in the past is how he's continuously going for the straight ankle grip, and it's giving him this consistent control.
Yeah.
Even though Harrison is doing a really good job at disconnecting the legs, he's able to just really, really bite on that ankle.
Yeah.
And keep repummeling.
He's doing this double leg control. He's doing such a annoying thing to deal with as Harrison. He's able to get back to, again, a more neutral 50-50 position where he's able to cross his legs. Sure. Yeah, I'm doing a good job of really getting to that nice hip position, 80-20. Trying to start separating the legs, keeping his leg relatively safe. Again, he has a nice bite and ankles.
Good.
Harrison was thinking about going to that cross bolt cutter or the crisscross the foot lock there. Yeah, been doing a good job though, keeping control. This is where Harrison having a little bit longer legs and being heavier helps. He's able to kind of stretch that leg out, making it harder for Gavin to get that bite. Gavin doing a good job really controlling the, kind of dictating how this match is being fought. We're now halfway through.
Yeah, Harrison he's gone from really, really bad positions to much better positions and able to create counters.
This is a nice bite.
Really
the heel's there. The
strong
heel is
position.
there. The heel is there. Ooh, can the knee? Oh, he slid the knee line out
Beautiful
just
defense.
close.
Beautiful defense.
He's not
by Harrison.
completely free though. His leg is still in a bad position. And there it is. Gavin Corby with the heel hook.
Very, very nice inside heel hook.
And he takes the Midwest Finishers 170-pound title and the $2,500.
170 champ of this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful, beautiful performance from Gavin Corby.
Congratulations to Gavin.
Looked very, very strong with 4 regulation submissions to take the title. The big chain and the cash.
Absolutely fantastic performance by Gavin. Yeah. Super impressive. Calm and composed through the whole way.
Make sure you follow Midwest Finishers to keep up to date on our next event and everything coming.